Mm-hmm. Yes. No pressure. Look how God done bless you. Wonder why I'm feeling extra. Say what it do, what the business is. Folk running over what the devil saying. Shoes, pants, chest, shoulders. Get up, off me, don't get closer. It ain't over till it's over. Game breaks, big, no pressure. Looks like God done bless you. Finna make the boat tip. Set the tone with that ice cold, but I won't slip. In my bag like road trip. Switch stands, do my dance, dog. He really don't miss. I don't need a crystal less it's hot sauce, brother. And I ain't gotta sell my soul just to pop off, brother. Ain't no demon time when you anointed. I keep it regal like movies and hop out like I'm getting dropped off, brother. Car smelling brand new. And we don't rock with the flakes, call me shampoo. We just tryna spread that light, bring them lamps through. Just got me thinking that it's nothing that I can't do. Feeling like the champ too. We just out here praising God, looking fly, you know, regular day. No pressure. Look how God done bless you. Come on. Wonder why I'm feeling extra. Say what it do, what the business is.
Up until then, what's up, family and friends? Welcome back to another edition of the Wrap Up Podcast, where we dive into the latest news, sports, and culture. I am your host, SirLennieB, and I appreciate each and every one of you for tapping in with me. Big shout out to those that's hitting the like button, sharing the vibes, subscribing. Remember to put God first. Let's get to the wrap-up session. What's up, my people? How y'all feeling out there? Y'all good? Another Wednesday, another week, knocking them down. We almost in September. It's getting real out here, boy. I know them first of the year goals looking kind of muggy. Better get to it. Let me pull up Reebok. Get the show on the way. Let me see if I got it up already. Nope, I don't. Take this down. Big dog.
Big dog, what's happening with you, man?
What's going on? Oh,
What's going on, man?
That boy zooming in.
I don't look as good in that new, yeah, man. New things, man. You know what I'm saying?
Man, you gonna have to send one of those to Wahoo.
Oh yeah. On the way, brother.
Don't put it in the snail mail though.
It'll never make it.
Yeah, never make it.
But now you got the military by the end.
For real. What's going on though?
Oh, this man, look at this. Hey man, I'm so glad today's Wednesday, bro.
Right.
Because anytime I can come in here and chop it up with you, man.
Right.
Man, it's just a blessing, bro.
Blessing.
Like, wow.
Bro, a blessing, man.
Yeah.
Dog, we're blessed to be here.
Yeah. I gotta be for real on that. Yeah, we are blessed to be here, dog. Because
Hey,
it's a lot of people that ain't.
hey, Teriyaki. I think we saw it at the same time, dog. I need one of them.
Hey, hey, hey,
I need
hey,
that
man.
shirt. I need that shirt, boy.
Oh, running, baby.
Hey, man.
Album made me who I am, bro.
Hey, I gotta be the greatest album of all time.
Yeah.
Gotta be. I don't want to hear
Honestly, man,
nothing Boogie got to say about that or nothing like that. You know,
I would put 400 up there for sure.
100.
Get Rich or Die Trying's got to be on
Yes,
there.
yes.
Uh, I would say the Carter,
Oh yes,
the
100.
original,
Yep,
that's got to be on there.
that is true.
And you know what, bro? TM 101, dog.
Oh yeah. I would even say Urban Legends is not
Urban Legend.
it's not going for number one, but 100%
Right.
like top 5-ish.
It's in the conversation.
Yeah, 100%. That Urban Legends was crazy. But yeah, man, like you say,
It's most definitely in the conversation.
yeah, like you say, I just got word text this morning, somebody that I know, sister passed, and sister passed at 36, bro. Like we're past that. Like when you think about it and you hear people, going away, passing and things like that, you're like, oh, okay, they natural causes of, they was in their 80s, they was in their 90s. But I think it hits home when someone passes that's younger than you. That
younger than you, your same age.
Right, yeah, younger than you, same age, and things like that. Like milestones that you passed already, and we look forward to the 35s, the 40s, the 45s, and things like that, right? And we, in a way, we take it for granted because we feel like, yeah, we're gonna get there, but
right, it's already assumed.
Yeah, it's already assumed that you're gonna get. It's already assumed that you're going to have some type of day. You, good day or bad day, I promise you this: you would rather have either one of those than that being your last. Cause that's the one thing that we never think about. Like, man, this could be this could be my last day. We always think about like, man, today's gonna be a good. Yeah, today's gonna be a good day, or man, like I got all this crap to do today, man. This gonna be a rough day, bro. I take a rough day over last day any day,
And I really think that if we see, it's all about changing perspective, right? Like, and I really like how Blue was saying last week. There's someone who always want your problems. They will always want your problems. And I think too many times, bro, and life is so good that we just get caught up. But it's important to be like, you know what? Like, life is so precious, man. I can't let this or let that knock me off, man, because it's some people that will be like, bro, I'd rather get cut off in traffic 100 times than for this to be my last day. You know what I mean? Like, and we out here crying about getting cut off in traffic, or crying about, someone stepping on your shoes, or, you know what I mean? Like, it's a perspective thing.
It's a perspective. And like, my thing is, how do we live with a how do we live with that at the front of what we do? Like, how do we live like we're on vacation? How do we live with the perspective of like, man, I'm grateful for waking up today. Like, we say it in our morning prayers, but are we truly? Like, do we, or the simple fact of like, do we live that out? Like, are we truly grateful for waking up? You know?
I think that, and it's gonna sound crazy, but I think it only happens when you have something really bad or really good happen to you, right?
Yes.
You're never just walking through and being like, hey, hold on, let me stop, man, and just say how thankful I am for,
Mm.
whatever.
Right.
So if something really good happens, right? So
Yeah.
if you find like an unexpected lump sum of money
Mm-hmm.
just laying on the ground on the sidewalk, you're gonna be like, bro, I am so thankful. Like, wow. You know what I mean?
Right.
If the flip of that is if you get like jumped and get your head whipped or something like that, you're gonna be like, bro, I gotta start living differently. Because
Right.
why would people just jump out and just whip me out like this? I gotta start living different. Like
Right.
this is my change. This is my wake up call. So usually it takes a wake up call of something really of extremes. You know what I
Right.
mean? To make us start like cherishing the day. Shout out to Sade.
Shout out to Sade.
It is something that is like that, but it is like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Um I think do you have a thought process as in like do you think a little bit of it is because we're just on the grind too where we don't even have time to kind of take a step back to um to cherish the day.
Uh, yes, because so when you're on the grind like that, right, and you have your routine, we're slaves to our routine,
Right.
extremely bad or what extremely good is going to happen to you on your morning on the same you wake up, you drink the same cup of coffee, you take the same route to work, you eat the same tuna sandwich for lunch, you do the same assignments at work, and then you go home. What's going
Right.
to happen to you in that to like make you be like, oh, like life is really precious. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
so yes. So for me, what I do is I think it's really cool, right? So, like, no matter what I'm doing every day at 11:11 and 4:44, I pray. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? Like, I give thanks. Like, I don't ask for anything. I don't like, yo, God, please put me in this, you know what I'm saying, Mercedes.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't ask for anything. I just, hey, you know what? Hey, God, big God. Hey man, thank you. You know what I'm saying? Like, because it's tough out here. Yeah,
Right.
I'm getting busted up by society, but bro, it's some people that ain't in society anymore. So this isn't
Mm.
a time for me to pray and ask for something. This is a time for me to just be like, hey, yo, man, thank you for rocking with me, bro. And thank you for keeping me, your hands around me and stuff like that. So I do that
Right.
every day at 11:11 and 4:44. I know it's cliche, but
No,
whatever
no, not
works.
at
You know what
all.
I'm saying? Like that
Right.
keeps me grounded. That keeps me
Right.
like no matter what I'm doing. If I look up and I miss 11:11, obviously every day you're not gonna 11:11 is like, all right, stop, I'm good. Like, so sometimes it'd be 11:15, 11:16. Sometimes you'll check it'll be 11:10,
Yeah.
11:05, and I'm like, nah, let me just throw it up now. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
so, but yeah, I
Yeah.
got two times out the day. Obviously I wake up, I drop to my knees, boom, I say my prayer, like boom, like, hey man, because some people die, people dying in their sleep, bro. You know what I'm
Man,
saying?
that's
People
deep.
are laying down like, yo, I gotta set an alarm and dying. You know what I'm saying? So it's really not a game. And I say my prayers before I go to bed. I say as soon as I wake up, 11:11, 4:44. Hey, you heard it here first, man.
Yeah.
Every day.
It's funny because I was just about to ask you, do you think it's weird what are your thoughts on if we kind of just set um, a grateful alarm like every day at whatever time I just stop everything and just take that minute or so and just be grateful for
Right.
whatever that is. Just grateful for life, right?
Right.
Yeah. So
I don't
it,
think that that's lame at all. I
right.
think that that is whatever you have to do
Yeah.
because a lot of the time, bro, people get so caught up in praying for what they want, right? That they just forget to just pray and just say, man, God, bro, I am so thankful for everything. Like you really for me. And I just want to take this moment and give thanks. Like we don't do that enough, like you said, or we do it after an extreme, like, damn, I almost got ran off the road. God, thank God.
Yeah.
Didn't get run off the road.
Right. Yeah.
Like, or like, something happened, someone buy your food at Chick-fil-A and you be like, yo, God was looking out.
Appreciate
it's like it shouldn't take something like
appreciate it, because I was gonna run off with this bag.
Right, because my account is negative. You know what I'm saying? I don't even know why I'm in this line. I'm in this line by the grace of God. You know what I'm saying?
Right. What's up, KT? How you doing?
KT.
Y'all know I love this conversation.
Yeah,
hey,
yeah.
Rob.
What up with you?
Yeah, we good.
I'm doing well, y'all. Am I elapsed? Let me close all my things down so that I'm good. Is there a delay for me, or am I good?
You good?
Okay.
Good.
I had to shut down these videos. I'm on my computer today. I'm gonna make sure I'm present today. I think part of being truthful is truly being present. And I think that we have so many competing priorities always that we're never like in the moment, because we're always thinking about like the next moment. And I think that's why a lot of times we see that people truly don't know how to be appreciative of what they have currently, because we're always like looking towards the next goal.
Yeah. What's next?
Right.
What's next?
Yeah. So kind of like what we're talking about right now, Kathy, is like, how do you give thanks, or how do you show your appreciation for each day, every day? Like, what is your routine?
Well, for those of you who don't know, I'm on a prayer call about 5 days a week. And so we wake up early in the morning at 5 a.m. And literally, when you wake up at 5 a.m., whether you're the one facilitating that call for the day or someone else is facilitating, there's worship. And that's a form of, being thankful. The days that we don't have the prayer call, I make sure that I have my own fellowship with the Lord, my own time of prayer, praying, worshiping. And just throughout the day, I think that because I'm more connected now to my relationship with God, it's every little moment I'm like, oh, that's the Lord. Like, thank you. Like, that's God. Thank you. Like, you don't even take anything for yourself anymore. And then I think that we're getting older, and we have seen enough instances where people are like, here today, gone tomorrow type of situations. Like, we're older, we're old enough to realize that like life is very fickle. The time that we have here is not really guaranteed. And so having perspective, like, I'm thankful for this moment. Definitely talking to God, not just daily, like throughout my day. I'm talking to the Lord. Internally, because you don't have to say things out loud. You have to be like, oh my gosh, thank you, Lord. Like, you just internally have that like inner monologue. But also you can tell people who live a life of gratitude versus those who do not, because the energy that they give off lets you know, like, okay, this person is not one who has that
they all
style.
Okay.
That was well
and
put.
I journal a lot.
Yeah.
I write things down. Listen, journaling and getting a record of when things happen. So those moments where we're human. We're gonna have moments where we feel down or kind of just like, yo, I'm feeling like a little like
Right.
low.
Yeah.
You go into those, like for me it's those journals, and I go back and I read some of my testimonies, and I'm like, man, like girl, get out of this rut, like get out of your mind, get out of your head, like it's good, it's gonna be all right. And so I just go back and I read some of those records that I wrote about things that, like, big or small, that I'm grateful for.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah. That's good. Um. Yeah. Yeah. So like one of my things
That's
that
a
I
great one.
yeah I was just asking Reebok over here is he has set times that he
Mhm.
dedicates throughout his day to like have his words with the big man upstairs. And so before that, I was gonna ask him like, do you think it's lame, or do you think that is, I guess, weird in a way to say I'm gonna set a reminder at this time every day to say like I'm gonna have this conversation with with God.
I mean, I think he probably has like an internal clock now, right? Because now it's become a habit. Like
Right.
once something becomes a
Yeah,
habit,
sometimes I
then
just look
you
up and
kind
I
of
be like,
like,
oh, shit.
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
mhm.
Yeah. But yeah.
I will
So
say,
yeah. Go ahead.
I was gonna say something. Bring it back to me, God. Man, I was gonna say something. Nope. I have to save it for another time. Then
All right.
I'm going to save it for another time. But yeah, this is good. This is really, really good. I thought it was coming back, but no. Nope.
Oh, that
Sorry. It's
that
been
that
a long day. Listen,
that must be that plus 35 brain.
listen,
Oh
that's
man.
that 35 and over. Definitely over the 35. And when it's gone,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah, I was trying to catch mine before 35 and sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's faster than me for sure.
it's fast. It goes.
Man,
Yeah.
that brother
Yeah.
don't remember nothing.
Yeah, Reebok, so what's in your tape deck for this week?
Hey, I got a banger for you.
Yeah.
This week, Leon Thomas, MUTT.
Okay.
This is such a sweet song, man. Like it's
It-
just a sweet song, bro.
It's
Like
called mutt as in
Leon
like
Thomas.
a a dog being a mutt mixed breed?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah,
Okay.
and it is an amazing song. It's not like all I listen to is R&B. So yeah, it is Leon Thomas
Yeah.
MUTT. I'm telling you, trust me, play it at your own risk because you're gonna play it, you're gonna slap it 10 times in a row. And you're gonna
Right.
be like, man, Rob got me out here, man. Listen at your own risk. But that is the song that has had me in a headlock for the last. I listened to it Monday morning, 9 a.m. and it's been on. I listened to it. Obviously, Monday I listened to it all day, and then
Yeah.
Tuesday I was like a little, and then today I listened to it like 4 times. But
Right.
yeah,
Right. What
it
about
goes crazy.
yeah, what about you, Kathy?
What's it yours, big?
Um man, I don't really I just haven't really been in like my music mode this week. Uh
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I can't
So just the
really
classics then.
yeah, just the classics. I will say that one song that I do like that every once in a while I get in rotation is called Raw by Looney. It's a female R&B singer. I got on it probably a couple of years ago, but it's a song that kind of stays in the rotation of new artist stuff. Yeah,
RAW Raw.
yeah,
You
yeah.
you think that's where we're at now, right? R&B all the
Uh,
time.
Oh yeah, I don't
yeah,
listen to that now.
yeah,
Yeah,
one hundred
I
percent.
can't
Like,
listen. I mean, I got if you play some 400 degrees.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
now obviously I'm gonna revert back to my old ways, but
Right.
but you know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? If you don't tip me, then that ain't gonna come out of me. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Isn't
You know,
isn't it interesting how that happened
keep me
though?
away
Like
from
it
the
just happened. Like
Yeah.
our ear for what we want to listen to no longer was that the other stuff that we did listen to in our 20s or in our teens.
Right.
I was on Sunday, I was getting ready for the work week. So I went back to work this week, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
And I was doing my meal preps and just
That's
the stuff
congrats.
that I usually do on Sunday for
Right.
work. And I was listening. My favorite R&B song, my favorite R&B track is Anthony Hamilton,
Okay.
"Best of Me."
Oh
Giving you
yeah,
the
yeah,
best
of
of me.
course. Yeah, that's a classic. Oh yeah.
Listen,
100%.
that thing does it every time.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I was just listening to it.
That's a hit. That's a hit.
I was listening to it, and I was just thinking about the fact
Oh
that
my God.
come on, you see, there you go, you got to play it now. I was just thinking about the fact that if I am listening, because sometimes I don't listen to anything, like
Yeah, right.
not
Yeah.
even worship. You know what I mean? I just listen
Yeah.
to the wheels on the cars turn. You know.
Right.
But when I
Absolutely,
do
yeah.
listen to something, I want to listen to R&B. Like I
Yeah.
need that.
Right.
The newer folks, the newer kids out here doing R&B actually have that flavor of like
Mm-hmm.
older R&B is like
Yeah.
coming back. So I really
Right.
like that. Um,
Yeah.
but it's quite interesting how we evolve in our taste also evolves.
Yeah.
That's one of the things. We're the uncles and aunties now, officially.
Yeah, 100%. One.
Officially.
Well, music has a lot to do with mood. I try not to listen to anything that's like, because then I'm gonna wanna act that way. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
so if I'm like, I always use the road rage um, scenario because I suffer from road rage. So if I'm in a car and someone's acting crazy, and I'm listening to like what used to set me off, Boosie used to set me off. So if I'm listening to like Boosie, old Boosie, I'm gonna want to act up. You know what I mean? I'm gonna
Right.
want to do some stuff.
Well, you know
But if
why?
you cut me off and I'm
Everything speaks. Music speaks. Music has a spirit,
Yeah.
and so it speaks
yes,
to certain parts of
but
our
if you cut me
psyche.
off, and I'm listening to like Kim Love calls, I'm gonna be like, yo, look at this person, man. God
Right.
bless him. Love hasn't called them yet. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
Kim Love call. Love call.
Anything that y'all watching? Any like good movie that you seen recently or TV show? What you got, Cash?
Don't do that.
Uh-oh.
Listen. You listen.
Yeah,
This
because I know you want
movie,
that. Go ahead.
okay, it's an African movie,
Okay.
right? It was based. They shot it in Nigeria,
Okay.
and this. If you're not ready for no type of like real spiritual, like this movie, the budget was probably $1,000. Hair and makeup did not make the budget. But when I tell you this thing is fire, it is so good.
Yeah.
On the secular scene, what was like my show, it was only six episodes. Supercell.
Oh yeah.
Supercell was good.
Yeah, I like that
That
one.
was a good show.
Yeah. You like
That's
that
all I
one?
needed to hear.
You like that one, Rob?
No, that's all I needed to hear because I was withholding. I had reservations about Supercell because someone else was like, "Great, like it's perfect," and I was like, "Nah, I think I'm hold off." So now that I heard this, I'm
Yeah.
diving
Yeah.
head first.
Yeah, it's like that. And then
What's on Netty?
yeah, Netflix. Yep, yep, yeah. It's our brothers from across the pond too. So we
Oh,
like them London shows and things like that.
oh,
So
bro,
yeah, yeah.
oh, bro, you know I love a good London story, bro.
Right, yeah. So it got that vibe to it.
You know I love a good London story, innit?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think you'll like it. Yeah,
I'm gonna have to
100%.
check that.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
did a great job with that. They did a great job, and it was picked up for season 2, which they weren't really sure if Netflix was going to pick up the series. And they were hoping to get some good traction so that they would be picked up for season 2. And I will say, like, I love watching product that doesn't always make us look completely crazy. When I say us, I mean Black people.
Right.
And this series, this show definitely has some parts that's okay. You know, it's worldly. It's, you know, it is a worldly TV show, but it was kind of cool. It was really cool how they did that. It was really cool. The production was good. I always look at production, like the quality of the, you know, production, and you could tell that they used their money, whatever money that they did have for the show, they used it wisely. It didn't seem cheap. The actors looked like they knew what they were doing because I was invested in the show. The quality of hair and makeup was decent. I always look at all of that stuff. Like that determines to me whether I'm gonna like a show or not. Like the quality of the production, the quality of the wigs. Like I don't want to see your wig, your hairline looking crazy. Like it needs to be good. Like we're in 2024. Like get some good, you know, get some good stuff. The Godfather of Harlem. Have y'all seen The Godfather of Harlem?
No, is that a movie?
I have.
That's on Hulu, and my husband's been watching it. So yeah, it's a series on Hulu, and my husband has been watching it. So I kind of been watching it because he's been watching it. And there's a lot of gritty scenes and some, you know, vulgar language and stuff. But it's actually pretty dope. It's pretty good. I would recommend that one as well for something to watch.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to check that one out. I gotta see if we even have Hulu first, before I even do that, or have to do some illegal stuff over here to watch it.
You probably have it if you have Disney Plus. Package it together.
Yeah, we don't have Disney Plus.
Oh, I got you. Call me.
Yeah.
I got you.
Can't say passwords anymore.
Yeah.
Oh man, I don't got you.
Right. Yeah. Let me take that got you back. When the last time y'all went to a sit down restaurant?
I was just in Colombia, and so we ate at a sit down restaurant.
Okay. Well, yeah, you didn't. You didn't. How was your experience? Was it a good experience as far as the waitress or waiter? Was the food good?
Yeah, I mean, I think eating establishments in other countries, they just take pride in their job because that's like a good job for them.
Right.
And so the service was top tier and the food was really good. I mean, I got a stomach bug on my way back from Colombia, so maybe not too good, but it could just be my stomach.
Right. Yeah.
That happens overseas.
Right. Let me get your thoughts on if this happened to you. What would be your reaction?
A restaurant on Valencia Street in San Francisco says it has fired an employee who left a racist message on a customer's receipt. KTVU's Christian Cafton live tonight in San Francisco after speaking with the woman who received that unfortunate receipt. Christian.
Yeah, that customer tells me that she was visiting family here in the Bay Area when she got that disturbing message on her receipt. The restaurant tells me they acted immediately. A family trip to California to visit relatives was marred by what one family says they saw on their receipt from Pika Pika Arepa Kitchen in San Francisco's Mission District on Monday afternoon. After ordering food, Whitney Washington said her family sat down and waited for their order and then looked at their receipt.
My daughter's actually the one who notices up in the upper right-hand corner that it says what it says. Here, the N-word.
Washington and her family checked other customers' receipts and confirmed that they were the only ones in the restaurant whose receipt had the racial slur.
We were the only Black people in the restaurant. She showed us her receipt, And in the same place where ours said here, the N-word, hers only said here.
Washington said she returned her food, asked for her money back, and asked for an explanation.
I pointed to the here N-word and I said, do you know what this means? And he didn't say no. He answered with, I don't know how that got there.
Washington said the employee took the receipt from her, but not before she was able to snap a photo of it. She also said when she asked to see a manager, he said there was no manager on duty.
I am so glad that I can talk to you to clear this matter because it's totally unacceptable.
At the restaurant today, a manager said she learned of the incident shortly after it happened and took immediate action.
We fired the employee right away. I didn't know what is going on.
She said the former employee had no explanation for his actions. And to top it off, she says when she fired him, he tried to turn the tables.
Fire him, pay him in full, everything, and he was going to sue me. But I said, come. I have it in writing in the yes,
so
right
he
away.
Was upset at you? He was
Yes.
Washington and her family flew home to Maryland following the incident. She says after considering what happened, she's more shaken today than she was when she first saw the slur.
I know some people use that term culturally interchangeably. That is not a word that I use in my home. My children don't use that word. We don't call people that word. Nobody calls us that word.
And San Francisco police confirmed for us this afternoon that they did receive a report about the racist message. At this point, it's not clear where that investigation will go from here. Washington, meanwhile, says that while she is shaken by her experience, she says she's also seen the beauty and diversity of San Francisco. She says when she was confronted.
Yeah, so you ever had any type of racial experiences at a restaurant like that?
Actually,
Not to my face.
I was gonna say no.
Not to my face.
Actually, it did happen to us. Lenny, you remember when we went to IHOP that one time?
Yep.
In Maryland?
Yep.
So we went to IHOP one time and we were waiting for a table for a very long time. And this Hispanic passing family came and they sat the people before us.
Lenny told me about this, dog. I know exactly what you're about to say. This is a crazy story, dog.
And I speak Spanish. So I heard the whole interchange. And I had a roll up 40 in Spanish and she was shocked. I was like, yeah, no.
You speak Spanish?
You speaking Spanish? You speaking Spanish?
Yeah, bro. Yeah. So what's wrong with you? Why are you doing that? I didn't know you speaking Spanish. Yeah, so we can continue this conversation in Spanish. Don't try to talk English now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When you thought you was being low. Yeah, talk to me in your native. You get on that way too.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah, Lenny told me about this story when it happened. It was so funny. I was like, what? He was like, and bro, when she started speaking Spanish, their head was by. I said, nah, dog, that's crazy.
Yeah, I think it's.
But yeah, no, I ain't never had no place, G.
Yeah, it's crazy that they actually typed it out instead of writing it. You saw that? Like that was clear. Like, yo, here's your food.
But you know what? They're slick. They're slick. They're very slick because I don't often look at my receipt.
Look at my receipt.
Right.
So who knows how many people like snuck how many people they snuck that to and no one caught it, and then this particular family did catch it.
Right. Yeah.
Because the first thing you look at on that receipt is that bottom line.
Yeah,
I need to see the bottom line, baby. You know? But I mean, I will say, this is gonna sound crazy, but stick with me. I like it, right? Because if you're gonna be racist, this is the type of racism I like. Double down on it. Like when I confront you about it, don't be like, yo, I don't know how that got there.
Right.
I'm the only MFer in here printing receipts, but I don't know how that got there. No. You know what you do? Double down on it. Yes, I know what that means. Why you think I put it there? You know what I'm saying? Like, don't try to weasel your way out of this now. I like my racism in your face. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't like it like covert. You know, don't try to like, because now I know how to deal with it. Like, okay, hey, listen, I would tell my family, be like, hey, listen, everything we brought here, you have to throw it away. Right. Yeah. Well, we just got these tacos, these steak carnitas. They're calling us niggers in here. We gotta leave. You know what I'm saying? And so then I need a refund.
Yeah, you can't trust the food.
Let me break home.
Yeah. So you all about.
Let me break home, and then you can keep it.
You all about keeping it real, standing on business, right?
Bro, right? I don't know, sir. I don't know how that got there. You niggers don't usually look at the top right. Man, what, bro? Right. Like, that's what he was thinking. He was like, bro, I done this 100 times. Y'all usually don't look up there.
Right.
I'm sorry. Yeah. Do you know what this then, man? Nah, I don't know what. Like, I don't know what it means, bro. Like, no. I want to, when I bring that back and I'm like, yo, what is this receipt? Like, why is this up there? Yeah. Oh, that's what y'all are, bro. Like, y'all some niggas in here trying to get food. Like, y'all would order chicken tacos, right? So yeah,
you know what's more disturbing though?
What's that?
That it's not even like the slur. It's the fact that now you might have spit in my food. I just started thinking about the fact, like, how far does this hate go? Do you hate me enough to have
that's
spit
why
in food?
I need it up front.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Even
that's why I need that hatred up.
Right. Yeah. It's kind of like you say. You just want someone that is standing on business. That's keeping it real. Keeping it real. That's all we want.
Because everyone wants to say that racism is gone. Racism is non-existent. I think at one of these line political parties, they was like, racism doesn't exist in this country anymore. Bro, listen, just stop with that, okay? Yeah. All I can ask for my racists out there watching, just bring it to me direct, huh? Don't sneak diss me with it.
Right.
And let's come on, like, let's just be real, man.
Yeah, so basically you just like people that can just speak their mind and keep it real. But like keeping it real sometimes, goes wrong. You remember that segment Chappelle Show used to have, like when keeping it real goes wrong. And like here's an example of like what keeping it real goes wrong. Just like Taylor said it best.
That was an alley-oop, dog. That's an alley-oop. We like Jordan and Pippen out here, dog. They don't even realize yet.
It's trespassing. I could technically leave and you guys could issue a warrant. As long as I don't return, you can kiss my ass. This is
you know what? No. I'm gonna tell you what. You don't come in here. You don't.
Fuck you.
Okay, that's contempt. That's 93. Keep going.
Fuck you.
That's another 93. That's another 93. That's another 93. That's another 93. That's 6 93s consecutive.
Put a muzzle on this guy. Look at Buddy at the bottom. He like, hey, Judge did want to laugh though.
That's the case. People versus Jenkins. Mr. Jenkins does not want to. He does not want to unmute. He does.
I don't want to unmute. It's trespassing. I could technically leave and you guys could issue a warrant. As long as I don't return, you can kiss my ass. This is
you know what? No. I'm gonna tell you what. You don't come in here. You don't.
Fuck you.
Okay, that's contempt. That's 93. Keep going.
Fuck you.
That's another 93. That's another 93. That's another 93. That's another 93.
You know what? As I watch this, do you think that he was doing that because it was a black judge?
100%.
No.
And he felt
100%.
He felt a certain type of way because the black man was giving him the sentence. I'm just saying.
Yeah, because in his mind, this man is beneath me, even though obviously he went to school and he is a judge. You know what I mean? Like in his mind, this man is still beneath him.
Right.
This is why racism is such a disease. This is a mental health issue. You have mental health issues.
Right.
You have no self-control. Come on now, you gotta go to jail for, he said 93 days every time he said F you? Nah.
Yeah, so, Rob, you don't think it
That's
was
a year and a half. He caught a year and a half for playing with that man like that. Listen, I didn't personally, I didn't think it was racist, right? I didn't think he looked at it as like, yeah, you know, the judge black, I'm really finna give it to him. Like,
right.
I think he looked at it and was like, bro, I really ain't do nothing.
Right.
So you can kiss my ass, bro. It's a misdemeanor trespass. Hey, yo, bro, I kissed my ass, bro. And then he kept going, and the judge was like, bro, you must ain't seen what I did to buddy who tried to be on Zoom, and he was on Zoom driving without a license. You don't you don't know about me. Okay,
Right.
well, I'm finna show you real quick. I'm gonna have to show you because clearly whatever I'm doing out here, y'all still don't know. I'm him. I am your honor. You understand? And I'm about to give you a story, my boy. You ain't gonna see the streets until 2026 playing with me.
Right.
You don't come here cussing at me. I got something for you. Bailiff, get him out of here. Right? Because I think he would have did that even if the judge was white, because my boy was off. He was off one. And I think when he gets in there, right, and then like he comes down, them 3 days pass, and he's like, bro, I'm really not going anywhere until 2026. He's gonna be like, I done messed up, man.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah. I think that's when it hit him.
That's when you need to have more self-control.
Yeah.
You need to have self-control. Your
Just
emotions
for
got
not
the best
being
of
able
you.
to not take your bait.
Right.
Yeah. How could you not take the judge hadn't even begun to bait him yet.
Yeah.
He just was just like, hey, yo, it's a misdemeanor trespass. Honestly, right now I could walk out of here and you guys could kiss my ass. Hey, yo, bro. And I honestly, honest to God, if you play it back, the judge was gonna let that one ride.
Yeah.
All right. He was like, yo, because technically he does know the law and he's right. All right. We serving this bench warrant, and if he don't make it, that's when we can go out and bust his head. But right now, he's right, and he was gonna let that one ride. The judge was like, "Hey, you know what, man? Let's slow this down. Nah, you know what? F you. All right, nah, you know what I'm saying? Because you don't know about me.
Yeah.
But I'm willing to show you." And he thought he was only gonna hit him with 2, because the normal person whose brain operates correctly would have started doing quick maths in their head. 9 and 9, that's 108. Whoa. Behind bars? All right, you got it, man. Damn. All right, you strong. Yeah, yo, you strong. All right. My phone. Let me go. Like, that's when that kicks in. But he not in his right mind. His brain ain't operating correctly. And he was just like, I'm gonna keep going. To get 6 consecutive 93s, it's gonna be a different world when bro gets out. Like,
yeah, for real. It's gonna be a different president. Like you're coming to a different America, potentially.
Yeah, we're gonna have our first.
It ain't gonna be no democracy.
Yeah, by then it's gonna be the first female president. But yeah,
maybe if she gets it. I mean, we don't know, but it's gonna be a different America for sure. Either which way, it's gonna be a different America.
100%.
Because if my boy get elected, he say it's gonna be a bloodbath in this.
Oh my gosh.
And the judge was super creative. He didn't say 90 days. He said 93.
93.
Honestly, I think, bro, if you play that joint back, he was willing to let the first one ride. Yeah. Because he was like, man, everyone gets to blow off a little steam. They say I'm been all over Facebook, Twitter, over the net about how I did this guy with his driver's license. I'm gonna let you ride, bro, in the first one. So the first kiss my ass was on the house. And then he was just like, he was like, F you. Bro, you can't say that to someone in the street.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But we ain't in the street. So I'm gonna hit you with 93.
Yeah. Yeah, you know,
I'm sorry, man.
You know, in what year we in? 2024. We've kind of seen things change a lot, right? With with all types of trends and even when it comes to parenting, right? They have soft parenting now, and it's not like back in the 70s and 80s and stuff like that where you was getting beat with extension cords and stuff
90s.
like that.
90s.
Right, yeah, 90s. Yeah, 90s. Yeah, 100%. Go get the Switch for real. But yeah, so nowadays you have more of a bystander, right? There's more of that of if they see something wrong, they're gonna say something. And so like my question is to you guys, like if you saw like someone getting maybe rough with their kids, what is your thought process? Not your business.
It depends on where it happens. If
Right.
it happens in the school, I'm a mandated reporter.
Right.
But if
Oh,
it
yeah,
happens
yeah,
in
yeah,
the street,
yeah.
if it happens in the street,
I told you about that story on the pod a few weeks ago where that lady socked her daughter in the middle of Walmart, and the daughter looked at me like, and I was like, nah, because I don't know this could have been the last straw.
Right.
This could have been a 2-week buildup. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
No, darling, you can't have it. That's how it starts. You don't see how, and you end up getting socked in your mouth at the end. So I don't know. And that's not my place to be like, hey, you shouldn't put your hands on your daughter like that. She'll sock me. And I'm like, damn, all right.
Right.
Fair play.
Yeah, so I haven't really got to see this story yet. So let's take a look at this story right here.
It was a display of aggression and parenting outside of a Lilburn grocery store, and it's landed a Gwinnett County man in jail tonight. That's after video of what police say was a case of child abuse in a Kroger parking lot went viral on social media. We do want to warn you, it might be difficult for some to watch. NewsEdge reporter Joy Dukes has more.
Yeah, it was a disturbing sight for many shoppers who were here in the parking lot of this Kroger on Five Forks Road Wednesday afternoon. A man repeatedly hitting and screaming at a small child. Now, a bystander recorded video of the incident that has since gone viral. We do want to warn you, it may be difficult to watch.
Shut up! Shut up! I say shut up! That is totally uncalled for. What I saw hurt me.
Cell phone video of a Wednesday afternoon visit to this Kroger in Lilburn has become a trending topic online as it appears to show a Snellville man's aggressive parenting style on full display.
Shut up! Where is it? Shut your...
In the video obtained by Fox 5, 44-year-old James Collins can be seen striking a 3-year-old child in the back seat of his truck and yelling at the toddler after he'd apparently had an accident. Gwinnett County Police say it has been viewed and shared thousands of times online. Amanda Martin, a frequent shopper at this Kroger, says she saw it in a Facebook post.
It was completely heartbreaking. I can't imagine a parent getting that upset with a child.
A bystander who saw what was happening recorded the video before calling 911 out of concern for the child's safety. In the video that lasts just over a minute, you can see another shopper try to step in. Collins then telling her to mind her business. Martin says she was glad someone spoke up.
Never want to put yourself in danger, but obviously, they were afraid for the child.
Shopper Elena De Brazil says she would have done the same thing.
And myself, I would have blocked his car, called 911, stay there until the police came, yes. You don't assault a child like this.
Gwinnett County Police confirmed Saturday they were aware of the video and had assigned the case to a detective. Within hours, they announced Collins had been arrested and charged with first-degree cruelty to children. Now, Gwinnett Police say the child suffered minor injuries and is currently being cared for by others.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely tough, but I mean, to be beating a kid like that because he pottied on himself at 3 years old, like, it's been a minute since the whole potty training era, but jeez.
Yeah, that's hurt. Fighting on themselves. They traumatized.
Right.
You heard that pop. That thing was loud.
Yeah, that's like one of them Karen
And the
whippings.
thing that we don't realize is that that kid is gonna continue to bathroom on himself now.
Right. Yeah.
That kid is gonna continue to have accidents now, bro. Like that's
Definitely wetting the bed until they're 10.
Yeah.
They are traumatized.
Yeah.
That's messed up.
He doesn't
You should
look
never
like he
flex
was
on a kid
well,
like that.
right? He looked a little erratic in that mugshot.
Yeah, I mean, he did seem
Definitely off of sick.
right. Yeah, that's
A little. He looked like a grown wolf.
right. Yeah,
He looked he looked unwell though. He didn't look like someone who was mentally there.
right. Yeah, he did seem
Yeah,
a little,
yeah.
He
It looked
seemed a
like
little
my
rough.
boy elevator didn't go all the way up.
Right.
But you know what was more alarming? That
What?
they interviewed 2 non-black and brown people.
Right.
Yeah.
They should have been diverse with their interview process.
That's true.
With the black people they asked was just like, we're not talking to you, bro.
Yeah, like, hey, I mind my business. Like,
Yeah, I didn't see anything. Right? They probably said something.
No, I think that, come on now. I think that I think the person that stood up to him was probably black. Like that was obviously
of course,
like
because
we're not that far.
The person,
yeah.
The person that was black was
You already
like,
know.
hey, yo, man, ease up off the shorty, man.
yeah. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, you know how like, we're in this age now where time the cost of living is up there. We have these side gigs that we do. We try to get a second job, maybe even a third job. If we work in remote, we can try to pick up 2 remote jobs, whatever that may look like. We're always just trying to get ahead in the correct way instead of going out and selling drugs and all of this other stuff, right? So do you have an issue with people that have 2 jobs? Do you see anything wrong with that, like remote wise, like double dipping?
As
No,
long as
stick it to the man, bro.
do your job well,
right,
for both of them. Be great.
Stick them for all they got. Yeah, get it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't see anything wrong.
Yeah, so let's look at this story right here.
Be lazy at one. Don't give them your full effort.
Leanne, she was the deputy director for the D.C. Department of Buildings, making $175,000 a year. She was also working full-time for Freddie Mac, also making a 6-figure salary. But at the same time, she was serving as the council member for the city of Falls Church.
How did she manage 3 jobs? Well, according to the investigation, her position with the DOB was hybrid. She worked 3 days from home and the other 2 in the office. During those 3 days from home, the investigation found she was working in the office at Freddie Mac. While she did report her position with the Falls Church City Council, the investigation found that on more than 10 different occasions, she attended city council meetings while still on the clock in D.C. Leanne has since been fined $25,000. In an interview with the Falls Church News Press Tuesday, she called it a clerical error, telling them, "I've corrected the form, paid the fine, and now I'm moving on." Tonight, the city of Falls Church tells WUSA 9 Leanne listed Freddie Mac as her employer, but didn't tell them about her job in D.C. The city now handing over information to the Commonwealth's attorney, who is investigating. We've also learned Leanne is no longer on the Metropolitan Washington Council of Governments Board of Directors, a position she was appointed to in January.
Yeah, and then let me see what this guy had to say.
Other than healthcare information, you have almost no right to privacy in this country. Equifax fired 24 of their employees for having a second or third job, and they used their own tool, the work number, to uncover it. Think your employer won't find out about your second job? Think again. The Work Number is a digital employment and income verification service that has more than 140 million active records on workers across America. Equifax sells these reports for $55, and it's very possible that your employment information is on file.
Yeah, so I think with the first one, she just got caught up because she was working on the other job while she was on the clock with the other job, basically, right? So, I mean, yeah, I guess you can kind of say that's unethical, right? Like,
So
Or
was
she
it her address, her internet address? They found it in Freddie Mac or something like that. Like what? How they find out?
She was trying to go live, I guess, with the council meetings during working hours for the other one. Look, bro, people gotta mind their business, bro, because Shorty had to have wronged somebody
yes,
in one of these offices, right? Or have
yes.
flexed, did like a money spread all up her arm or something like that. Like, yo, I'm bagged up out here or something like that. In order for someone to watch, that's pocket watching. That is the definition of bro, mind your business.
Right.
It's like, it's gonna cost you $25K. Bro, I'm making $500,000 a year. Here, take the 25 and get out my face. And I'm coming with another bankroll tomorrow. But this is why you can't flex on employees like that, bro, because somebody did this to her. Like she didn't just slip up and like whatever. Somebody was like calling an anonymous tip and be like, hey yo, Mary Jane, she getting bread out here. And I heard it's because she got 2 or 3 jobs out here in DC.
That's
you know
what I want to know.
I know it ain't.
Did somebody tell on her?
Had to, because
that's what I want to know. Did somebody vote on her? No, you are like,
yeah, cause like what it sounds
mind
like
your business.
It sounds like a hater. Once they find out, like, okay, yeah, she making 175 from one job, and then you making another 6 from this job plus your little. Yeah.
This is why you learn to say less as you get older.
Exactly.
How much you
it's hate,
right.
Okay, stop counting other people because you don't know.
Just
what
say less.
Stop counting
other salary. I don't share my salary.
Right, but think about it. It's easier to close your mouth versus like keeping people in check on like if they find out what you got going on.
Right.
Exactly.
If they're gonna
say
keep
less.
it. Right.
You say less. That's it. That's
she flexed on the wrong person.
But we do need to be better as people.
But we can't. You see, the thing is, we can't say that though, because yes, we should be better as people, but we know how people move.
Right.
So I'm gonna be better for me and not say anything.
Right.
That's true.
Yeah.
She flexed on the wrong person though. That's all that was. She might have flexed on them, right? Or she might have. Man, that's her third Benz this week. You know, 3rd different Benz you pulled up in this week. What you like?
You in that
we
big
work
body
the same
Benz,
place.
huh?
What you
Yeah.
That's you in that like with TVs and CDs.
And think about how many people she came into contact with.
Right. Right. Yeah.
Think about how many people she came into contact with. She probably doesn't even know who it was. It's over 100 employees in both of those places, plus the city council. Sweetie, you're around too many people.
Mm-hmm.
And the person that got her roped off, the person that got her head bound, the next time they see her, they're gonna be like, "Oh, hi, how are you? They got you good, didn't they?" Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, bro, just mind your business and everything will be straight, man. Just because these people out here getting
what if they picked up her IP address? Because if you're using a work computer,
right,
and you logged in at Freddie Mac, let's say you at Freddie Mac and you logged in to their IP or whatever, you know what I mean? They could find out those type of things.
Right. And also too, like, I mean, we can't we can't act like these companies are not actively trying to get rid of you, right? When we're seeing how they're doing remote workers, with seeing if you are doing the little mouse trick thing And remote is a very privileged thing. Like, they don't have to let you work, hybrid or remote. Like, they can bring you back to the office, like most people are nowadays. So I think like it's almost wild to think that people are still trying to, I guess, game the system when the system is so good for you. Like, man, but at the same time, if you can figure out a way, it's kind of hard to say like, I'm not gonna try to get that extra 6 when I can roll with it. But you kind of always get caught when you're doing dirty, kind of like this story right here. Another DC, man, y'all DC folks, boy.
I feel like you're going out your way to
But
pick
Lenny,
DC.
how come Right. Lenny, how come they don't fire people when they work at 2 different McDonald's? You don't fire people when you know that they were working at McDonald's and Wendy's. You don't fire them then. You only fire them when they're making 6 figures.
So that is one thing that I did think about, but I like to think that it was somewhere in their contract, because when you're making that type of money, like 150 and above, I think it's probably more on like maybe like the sign on bonus, or whatever type of package that they have rolled into their salary. And somewhere in that salary is saying that like, hey, you cannot have this type of job, or whatever the case may be. I get you.
I.e., we don't want you to make 500,000. We don't want you to get to 500,000. So if you're making 6 figures, you can only make this 6 figures unless I give you
right.
Like, come on now. Like, I feel like that goes back to the systematic way of keeping people impoverished. Because you don't mind if someone is working 2 jobs and they're working at a warehouse. You work in UPS and FedEx. You don't care as long as they're coming in and clocking in and getting these boxes out. But you care once they're starting to make 6 figures. So now it's a problem, because now you're on company time. Now you're doing this, and you didn't care before.
You can work at Coca-Cola and Pepsi at the same time, though, because they're direct competitors. I want to say, Pepsi sucks, but you can't work at Coca-Cola and Pepsi.
But Coca-Cola is not going to fire you if you work in a McDonald's. They're going to let you do 2 jobs.
Yeah.
And so I think there's the bigger thing that we're looking at is really a system that keeps working class as working class, and don't try to come. You see, the Asian chick, her mistake was that she was making almost 500K,
right?
And they didn't like it, because if she was doing her job and she was going through the evaluations and she was doing her job well, what was the problem?
Yeah. I mean,
she had them sick with hate.
Look, she said, I paid my fine and I'm done with it.
Right. 25K.
25K?
I paid that
twice.
I paid that cash. Straight cash, homie.
Bruh. Nah, they would killed her. They would have killed her. As soon as she pulled up and pulled out 25 racks, they'd have been like, I'm sick of this. I need your life. Like,
yeah, right.
I told y'all little broke boys about trying to come for me, and now I got 25, that's it. Well, here's 50 for the next time. Because I'm not going to stop.
So let me ask you this. They charged her $25 fine, and they took her off of the city council.
Oh, wow.
But did she lose her other 2 jobs?
She lost all of them, right? Like, that's what it said.
Nah.
I don't think it said that.
They took her name off the website on the one. But it was like, oh, we got to attack this a little different little way. You know what I'm saying? So she's only public on the one. So she's still public on one. They took her name off the other one. So now it's really like, okay, I'm going to flex in peace. Now I can finally flex in peace.
Right.
Because you got to be flexing real heavy, right? You get found at a remote job.
Yeah. I mean,
right.
Dog, we're remote now. We're all remote now. And if one of us was just shining and the other people was like, damn it, I'm calling somebody. Because they're just getting to it.
Right.
I'm tired of this. you have to be you have to be a different type of sick and different type of flexer to be getting like that, getting heat like that off a remote job. So I don't know, man. That will motivate someone like me to like get my bread up. But like them, they were like, no, this isn't fair. This isn't fair. And they just like, it's over.
But think about it, she probably lost sleep. She definitely was working overtime. Like that was a sacrifice for her. She ain't lose no sleep. There were probably some nights, but you think she could do both jobs and not have sacrificed a little bit of her time? Because jobs take time.
I can program this computer right now so I can get up and walk out and it'll look like I'm still here. Just keep like, yep. And it's like the same thing. Like they have all the tricks and it's like, and she making that much amount of money. Right. She wouldn't lose no sleep,
then the company's at fault. You need to give them work that they have to be responsible to submit. Like, as long as you submit your work, like,
yeah, right.
Because some of these remote jobs, for real, them people are not really doing a lot. You're right. They're on standby, waiting for work.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's take a look
at. I hope she get her bread up.
Get the bread up. This DC councilman right here.
Don't do Trayvon White like that.
Now let's talk about some breaking news. We've got details about a story that we've been following since yesterday afternoon. In the last 20 minutes, we've learned why the FBI arrested D.C. Councilmember Trayvon White. Now, according to a release from the U.S. Attorney for D.C., White has been charged with bribery. He's accused of agreeing to pressure D.C. government officials for contract renewals in exchange for $156,000 in cash. Investigators say those officials worked at the Office of Neighborhood Safety and Engagement by DYRS. Now, the contracts in question involve two companies providing violence intervention services in the district. The Ward 8 council member was arrested around 2 p.m. yesterday in Southeast Washington. Witnesses tell us the FBI surrounded the area and went into an apartment complex on K Street with long guns and went up to the penthouse suite.
Yeah, it definitely looked like it was something pretty serious. They had the block shut off for a good time.
Now, we reached out to White's office and his campaign staff, but have not heard back just yet. White is expected to appear in court this afternoon. We'll have updates later this evening on the news.
Yeah, it wasn't just him. It was another one of y'all council members too.
Listen, this thing got people in DC sick. People in DC are sick. We've been talking about this thing since Sunday night.
Yeah.
Well, not me necessarily, but the Ward 8 that he, was the council member for. People like really feel like this man was doing. Some people feel like he really was doing something for the community. And so what he did really was he was hooking his friends up with contracts that weren't contracts. That was the thing. He was hooking people up.
I don't think that's wrong, bro, because white people do that on the other side all the time. And then it's like, y'all gonna really send the FBI in here over a bribe? Oh, I bribed them. They didn't kill anybody.
We're talking
You're
about
sending the FBI?
Yeah, we're talking about government.
They had an informant.
Yeah.
Someone got caught up in some stuff and said, "Hey, I got some juice for you that's bigger than my issue." Yeah. To lessen their blow.
I'll take that back.
You see what I'm saying?
The government, yeah. But you cannot, bro. The FBI.
The youngest council member in DC, this man was liked by, it was like Marion Barry. This man was liked by the people of DC, okay? Right. I was thinking this man was going to run for mayor at some point. Right. He's young.
Get to the part where he was talking about killing people and selling drugs and freeing Wayne Silk Perry and doing all that, because that's what the FBI is for. The FBI is not for people to bribe. Like you can't send the FBI in here and I'm just bribing people, right? Trying to get over on people.
He was bribing and taking money. Though they have evidence of transactions, though. Yeah. They do.
No doubt.
when you're in politics, you got to stay clean. You can't be out here mixing. You can't be out here mixing, unfortunately.
100%.
Send the DC police in here because FBI signifies that I'm some sort of terrorist. You know what I'm saying? Or a threat to like nationwide.
DC, but remember, DC is not really a state. It's we don't have state police.
That's true.
You know what I mean? So anything that's like that is gonna go federal.
FBI. All right. And they said them boys had long guns. I don't know, man. But I mean, turns out he's just. I mean, it's not really like he's a normal DC scammer, bro. Like it's typical.
Right.
For them dudes, man. He didn't even want to cut his dreads, bro. He's like, nah.
But
accept me as I am.
But Lenny, doesn't it remind you of that lady out in Chicago?
Yeah.
The mayor,
Tiffany
girl.
Yep, Tiffany Henyard.
It's the same thing, y'all. Here's the thing.
He was playing with white.
We love that you got into
you see how quick they busted his
head. Exactly.
Hey, soon as they start playing with white dollars, it's over for baby. They'll wrap up quick.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just like when you start. The thing about it is when you start running for public offices and things like that, you have to be clean. Like it's just part of the job, you know. Like you can't be out here.
Yeah.
You gotta be set apart in some type of way. Like you can't be running around.
This is a step above.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah. This.
Yeah.
And my water was good.
I think you're muted.
Oh, I was saying that this is not power. This is real life.
Yeah.
You can't be out here thinking you council member Tate. This is real life here.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. So
I hate that they hit him, and I hate that he was black, man. I really do, man.
Listen, he was young. And he was from the city, and he knew, like, I will say for teachers, because I'm in education, every time the teachers had an issue about pay, he was backing the teachers up. We have teachers in DC make some good money, and it's not many people that have advocated for that, and he was one of them. And so it sucks, but you gotta do better.
Yeah, gotta do better. So let's take a look at this story right here and see what y'all got to say.
Florida?
Not even a story, but just someone's perspective on how she views a certain situation.
I already knew I had him because there was simply no competition out there for me. But let's just look at it objectively. You had this average Black American guy who now was able to choose between what he was dealing with before and somebody completely new. And let me tell you, the moment I stepped into that man's life, he really didn't know how to deal with my femininity because I was not loud. I was not screaming. I was not trying to, be louder than him. I didn't interrupt him because that's not something that I learned from home. If somebody would speak, and especially a man, you would let that man speak and then you would listen and then say whatever you have to say, right? So I was clean. I cooked. He didn't know what it was when a woman is actually in the room asking him, like, do you want something to drink? Before I got myself something to drink. Do you want something to eat? Before I started to eat my food, I would ask him, do you want to have a bite? I would come out of nowhere and just have a fruit bowl and just offer him some fruit. He didn't know none of this. So my husband, back then boyfriend, really thought this was a dream come true. He didn't know how to deal with none of this because all this me coming through, just being nurturing by nature, his peoples and his family didn't even do that for him. Like the family, there is no family unit. The average family, especially Black American family, has barely a family unit. There is no breakfast, lunch, and dinner at set times. And these are things that I introduced my husband to with my family. Can you imagine that impact that I had on him back then. So gentlemen, do not be afraid of traveling. There are so many more women out there who are willing to take care of you. It doesn't matter if they're young, it doesn't matter if they're older. They are willing to take care of you, willing to work with you, willing to be a part of your life. You don't have to deal with whatever you are dealing with back in your hometown, because unfortunately a lot of American women are lost in the delusional world that they are living in, and they don't even understand that they are going to be lonely for a long time, if not for the rest of their life. They say by choice, but I don't believe them.
Who could forget?
Oh, ooh, she's spicy.
So she definitely had a
Please,
lot to say.
you gotta let the men speak. You gotta let the men speak first,
I
because
want to hear you. Go
that
ahead.
was a lot. We're gonna let y'all speak first.
This is
I don't think it's
so first.
see, this is
Take over, bro.
this is I
Yeah,
see.
take over.
I wonder what that comment even supposed to mean. But no, I don't think it's hard or like a shocker that was said, right? And for her perspective to be that, because that's what everyone I would say that's what majority people think. And it's not just so I think where she went wrong, or maybe not even wrong, she should have just said Western. Cause I can definitely rock with it being a Western thing. Go ahead, bro.
It was clickbait. It was clickbait for them to put black women.
Yes.
Because I don't think she was even doing that just specifically black women.
What
Because at the end she cleared it up and was like,
She did.
oh, she was? Okay.
Yeah, she was.
Because at the end she started. I guess she probably realized and started being like, "Yo, I really don't have hands like that." So she was like, "It's American women," and then that's when I can rock with you. Like, yo, American women, like, it's a difference of cultures. Like, it just is. Like, and I'm not like, I'm not saying anything bad by saying it's a difference. It's a difference of cultures, and if that makes you mad, then I don't know why it would make anyone mad to say it's a difference of cultures. Like, it's not on me to say whether it's like wrong or right. Yeah, I mean, culturally they're just different. So I don't know, man. I don't know.
I mean, because
but I do.
And
go ahead, bro. Go
and
ahead.
also too, she's going off of her now husband experience of the
black man
of the women that he dated prior to her, because he was in shock of all the things that she was doing for him. So she could look at it as, okay, well, who did you date? Okay, well, honey, I dated all of these black women before you, and this is the first time that I'm getting this. So that is how she viewed things, and especially on what's portrayed on social on medias and things like that. And I'm guessing now they're probably outside of Germany and living in America now, and she sees what she sees.
Right.
It's
no disrespect.
You want to go first, Keisha? And then you can tap me in afterwards.
Oh yeah, y'all go ahead. Y'all go ahead.
No. I want to hear. I want to hear Pat. I want to hear Sean. Yeah, I want to hear.
No, you don't.
He normally have a story time. I'm ready.
Yeah, we haven't had a story time in a minute.
Got a story for you. Check this out.
I have no story.
You're waiting for that $10 back.
Where's my change? Where's my change?
Yeah, I have no story. I agree with what Lenny said. I don't think she
should have said, African American women, because it is definitely, it might be a culture, not a culture, but like a Western thing, like he was saying. So I agree. Yeah, I can't really say anything.
Okay.
Awesome.
Okay.
Y'all go ahead. I want to hear what y'all got to say.
Okay, as far as Western wise, okay, I understand that. But let's not pretend like the attack is not on a Black woman, right? And that is how she initially started, and the Black household not being there, right? And as a whole, I guess that's what she's saying the experience is. She said even his family doesn't do that, right? And so kind of goes back to what you said, Lenny, like that's just his experience and what she's, going off of that. But like I want men to really consider, like, you're gonna have a Black daughter, right? Like you're still Black. No matter who you get, you're still Black. And her impression and your impression on what they're gonna raise together, to me, I feel like let that be y'all thing as far as okay, I really like, let it be better at merging the cultures, right? Because if you're saying that this is an issue and this is all I've seen, right? Then what does that say about you as a person? Because that's not true for all people. In this household, people get 2 to 3 meals a day, cooked, hot breakfast, right? And so, this is a
Blink 2
Western.
times. That's true. Lenny. Blink twice. Is it true?
Sometimes it's 2 times. Yeah, he gets a hot breakfast every morning and
Yeah,
dinner every night.
yeah,
Now, lunch can be debatable.
yeah. I get egos.
No,
Nah,
you
so.
don't. You know what?
Would.
Hey, hot. That's all that matters.
This is definitely her perspective. I think
Right.
her perspective is valid because it's true to her story with her husband. And I think that when people speak in absolutes, I have a problem with it. You're speaking in an absolute manner about a group of people based on your husband's experience. You know what I mean? And so I agree with your experience because it was yours. Just don't speak in absolutes because there's lots of Black women who are submissive, who are soft, who are in touch with their femininity, who know how to ask their husband, hey, babe, do you need anything? Can I give you anything? Like, there's a lot of Black women who know how to do that. And there's a lot of Black people who don't. Just like there's a lot of German women who know how to do that. And there's a lot of German women who don't know how to do it. So I think speaking in absolutes is what I'm having a problem with. Not necessarily what she said, because it is your perspective. I am happy that you guys that she found her husband and she was able to be his peace, that she was able to give him what he hasn't had before, that she was able to love him to the measure that he knows that she loves him and vice versa. That's awesome for you. I don't care what race you are. That's great that you found each other. However, be mindful not to speak in absolutes because the Black family unit, by statistics, last year it said that there were more Black family units still together than ever before. And so that statement can be made about your husband's situation, but it can't be a blanket statement because that's no longer fact. Because facts change, right? Facts change. The truth does not change. So the fact is that no longer is true, but it's true for your husband. And I'm glad that she's able to be that for this man. But she sounded a little loud. And she said that she wasn't loud, but she sounded very loud. Her voice sounded strong. It sounded like you might slap him up sometimes here and there. There's a lot of things that I can say about how she came off. And so to me, she came off, to be honest with you, she came off more American than German to me.
Yeah.
She came off more American. So the culture of America may be different than a German culture, than a Hispanic culture, than an Asian culture, than whatever. But let's not speak in absolutes. But I think what she said was true for her and her husband. And I'm not going to take that away from you. It was true for y'all. I'm glad that he found you. He was shocked because he's never been treated like that before. And I'm glad that you shocked him. I'm glad that you keep wowing him. I'm glad that y'all still together. But let's not speak in absolutes because I take care of mine.
Yeah, and so like Yeah, I understand where you're coming from, where the unit is still there, and there's more black families than ever before. Um, but it also goes to the fact of, are we having fruitful relationships? And I think the message was harsh, because anytime that you're trying to say, kind of like what you're saying, absolutes, right? Like German women saying that black women are no competition. Well, how can you say that? That's speaking in absolutes. That's basically saying that
Black
all black women can't compete with a German woman. 100%. Like that shouldn't even be in the conversation. I think the conversation should be more of like, are we raising wives? Like, are we raising nurturing women in our society, right? And that's where we kind of take the step back and say, like, hey, like, maybe I didn't come from a nurturing, mother, but am I doing everything that I can to make sure that my daughter is wilding someone, her husband, instead of um leading to these uh you know statistics and things
Meaningless
like that.
conversation. Yeah.
Right. Because like it
I think that
has,
I think that's
yeah, because it has some, like, it has merit to it, because that is what everyone kind of talks about, where like the black woman does not know how to submit, does not know how to, it's just too hard. It's not nurturing enough. So it's just more about like, how can we change that narrative, right? Instead of always, I guess, just being in the defense mode, and arguing this battle that's
taking the
yeah,
bait.
right.
So I have a
But like
question.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I have a
go ahead,
question,
son.
Kathy, in reference to, like, you was talking about family unit. What is consider a family unit?
So I was reading an article at the start of the year, and it just talked about how Black family units, where there's a husband and a wife and children, were the highest one on the rise of staying together. Like the divorce rate in Black family units was less than other groups of people.
Okay, okay,
But if you think
okay.
about it, and it's not to say that we won't go through hard times in our marriages. I'm not suggesting that at all. But if you think about it, and let's just look at this. This podcast has 5 people on it. I don't know, Rob, are you married?
Nope.
Okay. So out of 5 people, 4 out of 5 of us, I mean, maybe 3 out of 5, because Keisha and Lenny can't count twice. 3 out of 5 of us, though, or 4 out of 5, are married, and we're still together with our spouses, and we've been married for longer than 10 years. That is a high rate compared to what it could have been in the 90s for Black people, right? And so I think that I have seen an increase of Black couples, and I have seen an increase of Black couples sticking it out, working it out, and staying together longer than what we have seen in our previous generation. I think this generation is doing a lot better at staying together. Now, whether the staying together is toxic or not, I'm not even speaking on the toxicity of it. But the family unit is staying together. Now, European and things like that, they had a higher rate of staying together back in the 90s and 2000s. Maybe when that German girl was growing up, her parents stuck together. Some of their marriages were arranged marriages. Some of their marriages weren't the Cosbys. It was toxic. And so, like, I just think people need to not speak on absolutes. You are going to hopefully find someone who encourages you to grow into your best version of yourself. It seems like she was the person for that black man, that she encouraged him to finally be loved and feel loved. That's awesome, baby girl. Just don't speak in absolutes about black women and about the competition aspect of it. That's not necessary. I wouldn't compare myself to her. We're completely different people. Completely. My market of men who are interested in me may not be the market of men that are interested in her, and vice versa.
Well, no men are interested in you because you're married. So put that out there. That's, you know what I'm saying? But I get what you're
Sorry
saying.
to tell you, bro,
Yeah.
but I be getting some interest. I be getting some interest.
That was
I be
such a
getting
big
some interest.
Yo,
I be getting
Wayne.
some
I
interest
like
over
how
here.
Rob caught that. He caught that.
Hey, yo, Wayne,
man. That was
trying to
such
break
a
up
big
a happy
brother
home,
move.
bro. Wayne, get in here, bro. You know?
No, but what I'm saying
No,
is, if
but
I was a single female and she's a
I
single
get what you're saying.
female,
I get what you're
we may not
saying.
attract the same kind of men, and I may not. You know what I mean? Like we have different
Like
quirks,
competition, yeah.
different likes. So like that was unnecessary.
Yeah.
So
But
I
Keisha,
know
I
that
feel
you want to
like
move on.
really. Oh, go ahead, Sean.
Go ahead.
Oh no, I was going to say I know Lenny want to move on, but I just I want to just I want to just like kind of ask this question because um just based off of the experience um of like I'll ask this question to Keisha and also you, Kathy. When you heard the word submit, like what does that do, what did that do to your insides prior to giving your life to Christ?
Oh, it was very hard for me to submit. That's the truth. When I before Christ, it was very hard for me to submit because I didn't actually know what it looked like. And not to say
Yeah.
that my mom and my dad are still together. My parents been together since my mom was 16. That's the only man she's ever known. Um, but even the way that she submits to my dad, it works for them, but it doesn't work for my marriage. And so I had to learn what it looked like to submit in my own marriage.
And I'm gonna say, for me, I've always thought I submitted. I learned through finding Christ that my ideas of submitting is different from what my husband considers submitting.
And see, and then I think that did you have a follow up, Sean? My bad.
No, I was just trying to make a point. I think that to know how, like, you're great at it now after so many years, after test trials, after God spanked you and all of these things. But I do believe that some, and I'll say a lot of women, I would say women, I wouldn't just say African American women, but a lot of women in the U.S. Um, don't like the word submit. So, like some of the stuff that she was saying, she should not have said, but some of the stuff that she was saying, I can see because submitting is like the curse word to some women. It's like, what? Who? Whatever. But they don't understand it. But I believe that to understand what submitting is, you have to come from a family that have shown what submit truly is. And that goes into the family dynamics. And I don't think that we as African Americans have a strong family dynamics. Now, I know what Kathy said earlier this year, but if I look at everybody that I know, probably 1 or 2% of just who I know did not grow up with a mom and dad. So, it's that missing piece, that means a lot. And you can be together and it can be worse together than if you were separate with some families because
That's a fact.
but you're not doing things emotionally. You're just physically there, but you're not saying I love you. You're not playing volleyball or baseball with your son. It's like I'm just providing and that's it.
Right.
So
I'm
yeah,
here.
I just wanted to say that.
Well, I think also you said something very important though. You said African American. We have to remember that every black person in America is not African American.
Right.
Like there are
My
black
parents.
Caribbeans, right? Black Caribbeans. There are black Hispanics. So I think that black is not does not equal African American. We have to like
Right.
change that mentality. Black is not
Yeah.
always African American. Black culture is not just black American culture. There's black Caribbean culture, right? And that's a whole different situation. Now, black Americans, perhaps that's why you're saying in your perspective, you don't see that often. But in my perspective as a black Latina, almost everybody I know is married. It's actually rare not to see people married.
Black Caribbeans stay married to be bitter, but they do it.
People don't move all the way over to America just to marry another Black American. They're marrying a Haitian, and that's for sure. Like, you know what I'm saying? So that's very true. But I think Sean was talking about American, like blacks. You know what I mean? Because there's a lot of dissension with American blacks. You know what I mean? So that's like his scope of reference. Like, because that was a good point.
Mm-hmm.
Most Black Latinas and most Caribbean blacks, bro, they married and been married and gonna stay married, and that's a foregone conclusion. Me and my wife gonna ride it out. You know what I mean? So, but on Sean's perspective, city girls, right? You know what I mean? Whether that be any city USA, I'm not saying city girls like New York, or whatever. Like and I don't mean it in a disrespectful. Like I'm saying like city girls that could be San Diego, that could be New York, that could be like that could be wherever, right? That's his scope of reference. That's my scope of reference. You know what I mean? Most of the time, them like that's what he's speaking towards of like, yeah, I ain't really seeing it like that. You know what I mean? Like I kind of feel like what she was saying was all right. Like, like the way she packaged that message was disrespectful, right? Because like you said, when you deal in absolutes, right, you're always going to be wrong. I feel like, and then like, I just feel like she is right to say, hey, listen, my relationship is good, my relationship is great, and I submit to my man and do all that stuff like that. But I really honestly feel like if that's how you feel, then why are you going out of your way to be like, yo, you know what I mean? Like, Black women, y'all ain't da da da. You should be saying like how. That's why it was so important what Keisha said. If you really feel that way, bro, and you really feel like our culture is broken, no matter how white your German skin is, you're gonna have a Black daughter. Okay, so why don't you teach your Black daughter to your culture? So now you've made a change in now, because when your Black daughter gets with another Black man, right now that German skin is gone. That German bloodline is gone. So it's like now, she can say like, okay, I'm treating you like this, baby, because my mom taught me how to treat you like this, right? And then it's like, and so instead of like attacking,
you affect your generation. You have the authority to affect your whole generation and make a generation of Black women who can submit and ask their husband what they want to eat and make them 3 meals. Like that is the change that you can do. You getting on TikTok and talking about we're not competition to you, sweetie.
That's not going to
It's
make no change.
divisive.
You're going to do that to your daughter
That's
now.
not gonna make a
Now she
difference.
Right.
Black women go see it. Those city girls gonna see it and be like, "Yo, what's her address? I'm ready to," you know what I'm saying? See what she talking about. So it's like it don't. She shouldn't have. Points were made on her behalf, right? And like you said, Kathy, I'm so glad she found someone who she loves and all this stuff like that. But like each one teach one. Like she should be like, "Hey, I'm gonna make sure my daughter is not raised with this American culture." Because it's a culture problem. It's not a black woman problem. It is a Western culture problem. You know what I'm saying? Because the same problem black women give black men, white women give black men, and Latino women give black men. Ask me how I know. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like it's not like a one box of like,
How you know?
just every, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But
it's just, I study culture.
Yeah.
But can I ask a question before you say something, Lenny?
Yeah, you got it.
My thing is, what are the other cultures doing that women are able to submit? What makes it easier? How did they crack the code in their women? You get what I'm saying? And then that is what we need to be able to learn and listen to and begin to bring into our culture, in the American culture, since that's where we live. Because you keep saying that, but in the Indian culture, it's known that the women stay home and the men do this, and if they do work, it's a domestic type of, they're washing clothes or cleaning it, so
yeah, and see, and this is where like the Western thing comes up for me, and I got like 2 points. Cause Sean kind of put that Western women have an issue when they hear the word submit, right? But I don't even think it's necessarily women. I just think that it's a Western thing, period. Because tell a man that he has to submit under God, it's a whole thing of like, yo, what you mean I gotta submit like I'm my own God? I make my rules. I have, I'm the man of my house. Like right, like why do I have to submit under someone, right? So it's 100% a Western thing when we start talking about submission. Like we got to stop putting it just on women, because yes, do you have an issue with the word submission? Yes, 100%. It's documented, but it goes just as much for the man, because I would like it's probably half and half on the women that just can't get right with submission, with the same amount of percentage of man that can't get right with submitting under God, and so like the
you better preach.
Yeah, like the second part to that is like when we start talking about culture, right? It seems like the only time that we can get with submission is when we start believing in God. And I think like that's all fine and dandy, because like we understand where what it is to submit. But I think where people have, different cultures and stuff like that have a leg up on Western culture is they don't have to get to the point to where God is involved for submission to happen. Like a lot of like if we don't have God in our life, we don't know how to submit. And that is where it's kind of different, because whether they believe in Jesus or not, they have some type of submission, going on with their women, to where like the man is going off to construction and he got a lunch pail of food. Like Jesus probably not present in their household, but submission is there.
Respected.
Right. So
Yeah,
and
no,
that's why I say it's just like it's a culture thing first, where like yes, we need to get to the culture part, and because it's like an automatic thing. Like once you start walking with Christ, faithfully and in the right way, you're going to understand submission, which y'all kind of alluded to. Like you didn't you learned it over years, and you definitely got grasp of it when you found God. And I just think that's like one of the differences that you kind of see. Like that's something that should be rooted in us regardless of God or not.
I have a question and a statement.
Mm-hmm.
The statement that I would like to make is that if she would have came on and been like, hey, I am married to a black man. This is something that I've noticed, and I want to encourage black women that this is the way that you can possibly like attain the heart of a man,
Right.
or this is the way that you can attain the heart of your husband. These are some things that I did that seem to have really worked, and he was able to partake of. I think had she done that, black women would have, because as soon as I saw the headline, I was just kind of like, what's she about to say?
Right.
Yeah,
Right?
it puts you on edge.
Now, it automatically put me in a place, but I think our filter can be down and we can receive by way of how something is presented. Secondly, I would like to ask, if a white German man came on and said, black man, you don't know how to treat your women. I married a black American woman, and she never felt this love because this is what I'm doing. It would read the same way. You know what I mean? It was disrespectful. If you are truly connected to a black man, then you have to be sensitive to the black experience and know that what you did was not going to land well with the black community. Like, be sensitive enough to know that you're probably going to have some black kids. So let's be mindful that your black children at some point will hear their white mother speak about black women like their auntie and grandma in ways that are not favorable.
Yeah, 100%.
She just did it.
Right. 100%.
I would say that he either definitely didn't sign off on this, didn't know about this, or because you're right. Like that's a very good point. Like, like if you spit it, if you bring me a message that I don't want to hear in a nice way, I'll be better able to keep it. You know what I mean? Because I take myself out of a lot of situations because I'm an anomaly. Because if a white German guy got on here and was like, yo, black women are queens, yo, you don't know how to treat. I'd be like, yo, bro, power to you, my brother. I'm glad you navigating through. You know what I'm saying? Like, wouldn't affect me because that, like, there's just so much that I just that does it's not even in my world. You know what I mean? So I wouldn't have taken offense to that. So that's why I take myself out. Most black men would definitely say, yo, what are you on, bro? Like, I know how to treat a black, you know what I'm saying? Like, and they would take offense to it when obviously, like you said, Kathy, what he should have said was, hey, culturally, like, black men, y'all got to do better, man, because I came over here and like, like finding my wife and everything like that. Like she wasn't used to a guy getting up and going to work every day. You know what I'm saying? Like stuff like that. And like, same type of shooting shots, like, so I don't know, man. It's she had a good message. She just put it the wrong way. And like Sean said, like it is more of a culture thing rather than a black woman thing. And
and too, like I think that kind of like what you said with the points of when you intertwine families and cultures and blood like that, I don't think people are looking that deep into it. They're kind of just looking at it as like, hey, I'm just with this one person, and I don't have to worry about their experiences and things like that. That's why it's kind of tricky when you start, going outside of your culture per se.
Start mixing it up.
Yeah. Last thing I kind of wanted, and this was going to be my last words, but I kind of just wanted to get you guys' thoughts on it. Is do you think that couple questions that's coming to me. Do you think that there's a difference between humility in the world and humility in, um, a biblical sense? Anybody could take that.
I'm laughing at you right now because I actually had a coworker of mine asked for me to do a Bible study with them.
Mm.
And we met earlier. I went to work a little bit earlier just to do the study. And the study was on humility and false humility. And the way that you know that someone is not humble is when they say, I'm humble. It automatically debunks your statement. If you are truly humble, you will never even have to suggest that you're humble because people will see your works, your acts, your actions, your words, whatever you say, and they will be like, man, that is a humble person. But when you say, man, I'm humble, whether you're a believer or not a believer, Christian or not a Christian, if you say that you're humble, you automatically lost your testimony.
I feel you on that.
Okay.
I feel you on that.
So the question is there a difference between biblical humility um and worldly
Day-to-day.
humility?
Yeah.
Day to day?
Yeah.
Yeah. Just.
So I'm gonna say yeah, right. For the simple fact, like with the world, it's like you don't want to be seen, right? But what is your motive behind it? Like you don't want to be seen because maybe you don't want nobody to ask you for no money. You don't want them to ask you for a ride. Like there's probably a person as to why you don't want to be seen in a certain light, right? Like, man, if I flex real quick, or if I wear this nice bag real quick, or if I put on these nice shoes, they gonna think I got money. They're gonna ask me for it. Humble and wear these modest right or report right. And I think that when you're humble in a biblical stance, you move and you're not worried about if people are going to ask or not. You're just moving according to the Holy Spirit, right? And so your head is not down because you're dodging or you don't want to do. Your head is just, you're just moving, so I do think that there's a difference. Because if they ask, you're not offended, like, oh man, I purposely did not wear this, or I purposely, did not drive this type of car today. Like, you're not worried about that because if you're gonna do it, you're gonna do it, and if you're not, you're not. So,
right.
So I had to jump back on when I saw it. I believe if you are humble, what was the other word you used? Humble and what?
Just humble.
Humility.
Humility. Yeah, right. So I believe if you're humble in the world prior to coming to Christ, or if you're just humble, I do believe that you can be humble when you transition over to Christ. Um, I do think that there's a difference between the two, but for one to transition over, I think it would be easier to transition over, because all humility is, being humble is power under control. So, if you can have power under control and you don't have the love of Christ in your heart, and you got that before, oh man, you're gonna be off the chain when you graduate to the other side.
Right.
Because being having power under control, that's like if somebody hits you and you say, you know what, I don't got no time for you, and you walk away, knowing you got the AK-47 uh in the trunk. You know what I'm saying? Power under control.
Right. Right.
Is that humility or is that restraint? Because I've been provoked I've been provoked to take action, and I'm just not, because I have restraint. I want to take action, but I'm going to restrain myself. Like, I don't know, it might be both, because at this point I feel like it's like semantics, like restraint and humility, because it's a variation of the same thing. So yeah, you might be right about that. Because if like someone sock off on me, if unprovoked, I'm gonna have to exercise restraint, not humble. Like,
right?
Because if
Yeah,
it
I don't
was,
think that's humility.
I feel like if I was
That's
being humble,
definitely
I would
self
just,
control.
yeah, if I was humble,
Yeah.
it would be restraint, because yeah, humility, I would be like, I could really do you bad right now. I could really do you, but I'm just gonna keep going, man, and may God bless you. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Well, I don't think humility is that. Well, humility is power under control, right? But humility is also the expression of love and kindness to other people. And so someone who is humble doesn't boast about their accolades. They speak very little about themselves. They don't do anything to attract a lot of unnecessary attention. Like that's what I think of when I think of humility, right? Someone who operates in a form of fashion where they're not the loudest person in the room most of the time. But they're strong. It doesn't mean that they're quiet. It's just that they don't bring they don't it's the attention doesn't always have to be on the person. It's not always about them. It's not always about the individual. It's, you know what I mean? What Sean was talking about, and what from what I caught sounded like the individual practice, and I agree with Rob, restraint or self-control more than humility. Humility is like, I'm not boasting about what I have. I can live um I can live with I don't have to live in competition. I can live with what I have and be like this, grateful for what I do have. Like I don't have to, you know what I mean? Like live for the Joneses or try to keep up with the Joneses. Like I can just be in my space and be comfortable in that space.
Right.
content.
So,
Uh-oh.
so, so I believe that, like I said, if I would not have been, it would have been humble. But if you look at the story of Jesus, like, he was all of these things, but at any given time, he could have left. Like he could have killed them all. So he didn't say that, but we know from reading the power in which he had. So I think just because I have a handgun and somebody just slapped me up, it's still more than just self-control. Because just because I have power to do a thing, it doesn't make it only self-control. It's still power under control. It's still being humble. I'm not talking about it. I'm not gonna be like I'm just gonna walk away and be like, bless you guys and keep it moving. So I still think
Very
that
good
it
point.
will still be under the guidelines of being humble and just um power.
Mm,
That's a very good point.
mm,
Because like you said, like the power, like, and the like power under control to not grab that. You know what I mean? That's a very good point. I didn't see it that way.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I just think because we all like to think that we operate in some type of humbleness, humility. Uh, what does that look like? I think sometimes, in a way, I feel like it's a thing that only you and God knows, right? Because right now I can say, the inward stuff, right? Um, because unless I get on here or have a relationship with you and I'm telling you my vulnerabilities and weaknesses, my limitations, I don't think I can express to you my humbleness, right? And I think a lot of times actions, right? So, uh, when you read Matthew chapter 6, it talks about how you should do certain things, whether that's prayer, fasting, and things like that, right? Giving to the needy. Now, and this is why I say, like, when we start looking at humility, right? Where are we? I think it's more of a thing only you and God knows, because two things, right? Two things, one action, and I can do it two different ways. I can I can go to the homeless shelter and feed the homeless. None of y'all will know about it. But if I put it on social, y'all know about it. It's the same action. My heart posture is the same. Only God knows if I'm really humble about it, and myself, of course. Like, I could be doing it for clout, or I could be doing it for to be an influence for other people to see that this is another way that you can give, right?
But you
So
see, both times you would be charitable. Only one time you would be humble.
correct. But no. Both times I can be charitable, both times I can be humble. The only difference is one of them is broadcast. Now, just because something is broadcast doesn't mean that the person is not humble. It's just in their way it's showing influence, because we could never show anything then. If that was the case, I can never show that I made it to become a CEO. I can never show my brand new car. I can never show my brand new house.
Yeah, I
If
mean, I think I hear what you're saying, and I agree. I agree with what you're saying to an extent, because it's really a posture of your heart, is what you're saying.
correct.
The posture of your heart will determine the quality of humility that you are or not having in this moment. Because there are people who don't show anything ever on social media but are not humble, right? So
Correct.
vice versa. So I can agree. I can agree to that.
Yeah, and so that is where I guess is kind of tricky, but also too kind of kind of something. Excuse me, kind of something that Keish was talking to me about. It's just really your relationship with God and how you go about things, and He knows exactly why you did what you did. Like
Yeah.
and that's why I say, like, when it comes to humble, only two people know, it's you and God. Like, cause I can sit here and tell y'all all day long that and how it, and cause I can be a quiet person, and like, oh yeah, he stays to himself and this, that, and the third, and yeah, he's doing it from the kindness of his heart, but all in all, I can be doing it for that clout,
Attention
that
from
that attention, that, like, what they talk about, like, hey, when you fast, make sure you ain't over here looking distressful, and
You're not
that could
supposed to let people know. You're not
right,
supposed to shoot on your face. You're supposed
right,
to be doing it.
right, and so like that is where you
Can I read something?
yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so this is in Philippians chapter 2, verse 3. It says, "Do nothing from selfish ambition or conceit, but in humility count others more significant than yourselves." And that kind of just goes with what you were talking about,
Right.
as far as both times, right? Whether you show it or don't show it, it's really your motive,
Mm-hmm.
right? Is your motive selfish and conceited? Even if you don't show it on social media, is the reason why you went to the soup kitchen for selfish ambition and conceit, or did you truly go to serve others, to make
Right.
yourself less, or less significant than somebody else?
Right. Yeah, and then
What you're saying is right. Yeah.
yeah, and I think so. Like when we start looking at it from a biblical standpoint, we have to always give the glory to God, basically, right? But
That's it. That's how you keep yourself real humble. When
what
people say such and such, to God be the glory.
and then and this is why I say like you kind of have to like take yourself out of it, and that action is only something that God can judge, because a lot of times at work we talk about certain people, right? Like this person that always talks about like, oh yeah, Oprah does this because she just wants the fame and uh, what it looks like when she's being charitable, but we don't know her heart posture. Like you will never know if someone is doing it from, a humble place or not. Like only God would know that. Only they would know. Sometimes,
I mean,
Right.
yeah. Go
sometimes
ahead.
sometimes like this one person I know that says, "I'm so humble, I'm so humble, I'm so humble. When I went here, I was so humble, I gave them the earrings off my ears. So humble." Like, sweetie, if you tell me that you humble one more time, I know that you're not humble.
I'm gonna
I know
humble
that you're
you.
not humble. I know. Right, I'm about to really humble you now and show you what it looks like
Really
to be
humble you.
humble.
Right.
Because
I'm about
a person
to.
who is humble, one thing I would say about Oprah is, yeah, Oprah does those very extravagant acts. And let me just put a caveat: I don't really care for Oprah,
Yeah.
but in this case, talking about this particular example,
What
she
about Gail King?
never talks about what she does. You don't ever hear her talk about it in an interview. Yeah, I gave away 50 cars on my show. She did it. She did it on her show.
Right.
She gave the 50 cars, but she doesn't. She doesn't then talk about it. You know what I mean? Like it was done.
Yeah.
It happened. But
I
when
heard.
people
I heard she
say
got a
out of
tour
their mouth,
that she
"I
did.
am humble
Yeah.
because I did this," oh, you wanted glory. You want us to acknowledge you. You want us to reward you for this good act that you did. If it was really a good act, you would not even need the glory, because you did it out of, like you said, the kindness of your heart. And so
Self-fulfilling, yeah.
the way that I measure is, I hear what people say. If you say that you are humble more than that I see your humbleness, I haven't even seen you be humble one time.
Hmm.
But you're saying to me every time, "Oh yeah, when I went to this country, oh my gosh, the kids, they," or because I'm Dominican. "Oh, when I went to the Dominican Republic, the kids, they were just asking for money, and I was so humble. Like I just gave them like what I had." And I'm just like,
Yeah. Some
"Girl,
people.
you know how many times I give things, bunches of clothes and we send them to DR. I took my kids to an orphanage and we brought these kids toys. I'm not over here sharing it with people because truly I want to help the people."
Right.
You
But
send them to
but
Haiti.
but also too, and this is where is great. One, she could be thinking that she is a humble person, and maybe there needs to be some training what humble looks like, and also too, like we just never really know that why someone does what they do. Now I will say there definitely are red flags, of course, where it's just like, hey, look at me, I'm a, that, yeah, 100%. But like I said, sometimes you you just gotta leave that there and just look at the action.
It's not on us to judge. Yeah.
But the Bible tells us that we are a discerner of spirits.
Correct. Okay.
And so part of being spiritually mature is to be able to discern spirits accurately. Because when you have false humility, that is a spirit.
Mm-hmm.
False humility is a spirit. You're fraudulent. You're a fraud. You're faking, right?
Right.
And so we have to also know that, like, yes, we can't judge prematurely, and ultimately God has the final say. We don't have a hell or heaven to put people in. We can't reward you for your humility or not. God is going to take that into account. But we are also, if you are spiritually mature, you're also spiritually discerning. It's one of the gifts of the Spirit. And so sometimes you can discern accurately that that person is indeed not really as humble as they as they appear to be,
Yeah.
as they're showing to be, or as they say they are. Now what you do with that information is up to you. If you're a spiritually mature person, you would take that information and put it into prayer, like, Lord, truly make them a person of humility, a person of honor, a person who, like, if you're a truly mature person, you would take the information that you know by the Spirit that you have discerned, and you would take it into prayer, hoping that that person would actually indeed become this humble, whatever person is trying to portray. If you're not a spiritually mature person, you would do what Rob said. I'm going to humble you now.
Right.
I'm going to.
Yeah.
I'm going to show you.
Hey, God, I got it. I handle it.
I got it.
I got
I'll
it.
take this child. Yeah. I'll take this child for sure.
Yeah. Last thing.
Sometimes you have to listen.
Yeah, that's good because humility is part of my morning devotion, and that's kind of like one of the things that you did for this week. Like we all like to think that we're a humble person, but it's one of those like checks and balances. Like, what is humbleness, and like, am I really truly operating in that realm when I do certain things, right? But
Can I tell a Sean story real quick? 2
yeah.
minutes. Not even.
Yep, you
Sean's
got it.
story. I'm about to be Sean real quick.
Yeah.
I remember very recently, I was praised for a work that I did,
Mm-hmm.
right? At work. Like, I was acknowledged. I was like, thank you. Like, I was acting all like shy, like, thank you guys, thank you.
Right.
But in my heart, I said, you better acknowledge it. Right? Outwardly, I said, thank you. Like,
yeah.
Thank you. But in my heart, I said, yeah, that's me.
Right.
When I got in my car, Holy Spirit beat me up. And then, what you do? What you think?
Right.
It was you. I got beat up. I got convicted in my car.
Right.
Because in my heart, outside, I said, oh, thank you guys. No, it's like, thank you. Like, but in my heart, I said, come on now.
Yeah.
That's me.
Right.
Holy Spirit checked me right away. Like,
Spirit,
I know that you're not taking any of this glory for yourself. Yeah. I know that's not what you're doing. And so anytime, listen, we are not good. The only person that's good is God. Now, because God is in us, we are now what? Good. Mm-hmm. Right? And so anytime that you are acknowledged for any good that you do, the moment that you take it as like, oh, that's me. I did that. You have now crossed over to a place of unhumility. Even if outwardly you're like, no, y'all, I'm good. Like, thank you. You have crossed over because you have taken some of the glory from the Lord for yourself.
Yeah, and that's good, and it kind of just goes back to what I was saying, where it's just like we really never know because, and it's not for us to really harp on, but like you say, once you get, once you graduate spiritually, you can kind of see certain things. But like you're saying, like I can say, like, man, that was great, and you can, do
The whole humble act.
yeah, but deep
No one will
down,
know.
right? No one would
Humble
know.
dance, yeah.
Right. No
Yeah.
one would ever know.
Do
And
your humble dance, yeah.
right. But I will say too, it is a part of like where do we operate in the, like, yeah, I I did what I needed to do, as in like I studied, I and I'm not saying that I'm taking the recognition, but what I am saying is that I walked into this confident, and I received my praise, in confidence. Like I didn't have to take,
I think the key word was that you didn't take it from the Lord. You can be pleased with your accomplishments.
I mean,
be pleased.
you always know when you're doing too much.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think you can be pleased. Like I studied,
You always know
I
when you're
worked
doing.
hard. I did this. I put in the work, right?
Yeah.
I did the work,
Right.
and I got the results of someone who put in the work. You could be pleased about that. And like you said, I'm not trying to take it from the Lord, but I am pleased. That's
Right.
different. I was taking it like, yeah, that was me.
Yeah, got you. Yeah, I got you.
It happens to us all, man.
Some more than
Like things like that happen to us all, and it's good that you took that like something so small, right? And you got humbled in your car, right? Because like it can happen like this, like boom, like you do something good that you proud of, right? And you get caught up, you're like, man, yeah, all right, I am him, right? And then you mess around and run out of gas. Knowing you had sufficient amount of gas to get to the gas station. You've just been humbled because you shouldn't be taking this credit for that. You thinking all the while, like, nah, I miscalculated. You didn't miscalculate nothing. You did have enough gas. But I just gotta put a humble in his spirit on you right now. You know what I mean? So stuff like that happens like all the time. Are you somewhere and you like, yo, my card declined, and you like, it's funny because I have money. And it's like, yeah, but your card is not gonna work right now because I'm gonna embarrass you, one, right? Which is gonna humble you too. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And your card getting declined when you know you have money is the most humbling thing. You know what I'm saying? When you swipe and just pray, you swipe then pray, that's when you like, oh, it's declined. All right, cool, I knew that. But when you know you know what I'm saying? Man, that's one of the ones because everyone behind you is like, yo, bro, if you ain't got it, you ain't got it. It's like, bro, I got it. Just give me a second.
Right.
You've just been
It's when they say that part. That's the part. Like, you good? You got it?
I got it, man. Yeah. No, watch out. I'll get it, bro. I'll do the humble thing. I'll flex my humility and pay for all your stuff. It's like, hey, bro, I'm just getting a soda or something, whatever. Like, but again, that goes back to, and you're lucky, Kathy, right? And we'd be lucky when it comes in right away like that. And you get humbled as soon as you get in the car. It's like boom, 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 boom. Like you know you shouldn't. It's like, damn, all right. I need to practice more humility, not my outward display of humility. Like I need to practice more humility in here, like in my heart. You know what I'm saying? Because now they seeing me do this humility dance and they're like, man, KT, man, she really is humble. All the while you like, man, y'all can suck it, bro. Y'all know I'm the best. You feel me? And you really like, like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? So when we do get on that high horse, sometimes it don't happen right away. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes you could ride that high horse, right? And so what if you had got in your car and just been reassured by all the good stuff. You'll be riding this for weeks, months, years, decades, and then it's an oh God moment. You know what I'm saying? Like what I was saying in the beginning of the episode. Then it takes one moment to bring humility back. You know what I'm saying? Because now you built off that. So luckily your relation, not luckily, because it's not luck, is God. It is you having such a good relationship with God, right? And being so far along on your path to where it's like, man, all right, I know I'm finna pay for it. Like, and then you know, correcting your actions right away. It's like, man, because some people, I say, just don't have that, and they'll go weeks, months, years thinking that they did it all. It really is me. I really am God. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, so it's like, you know, I really, you know, I can respect that you know, you did that and you went through that and it was all so quick. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I said that to say that it happens to us all, man. Those humbling experiences happen to us all.
Yeah. Yeah. True. And kind of last thing, last remarks, is, are we? How do I put it? Do we have an open heart to the people that we come in contact with on a daily basis, that we can influence and change their lives? And I go, I struggle with this because I'm kind of reserved, right? Like I like to just stay in my world and do my thing. And I'm not, that could lead to not being as open as I can be, right? And to, whether that's someone that you see at the gas station, like, hey, how you doing? And then that how you doing leads into a fruitful relationship or something like that, to where sometimes you may have a feeling, Holy Spirit may lead you into, like, hey, talking to this person, or someone, a coworker that kind of gives you, that gets on your nerves a little bit, and it's tough, but that you can lead this person into a better position. So my question is, like, are we carrying that out? Are we open enough to kind of bring people in? Cause I struggle with it for sure.
Um,
It varies
it
by
is.
person, I feel like.
I also think
But as a
it's.
society as a whole, I don't think we do. Because it's dangerous out here. You know what I'm saying? And you don't know. I just never, like, it gives me a little bit of anxiety because you just don't know. Like, I know my intentions, right?
Right.
And I know my heart is in the right place. And I know my heart is open. But, and then it's like with that coworker that you may not see eye to eye with, like, how does that conversation start? Like, hey man, why are you so stupid? Or, you know what I'm saying? Like, hey, why don't you know how to do your job? Or, you know what I'm saying? Like, how, like, because that person is a trigger, a provocateur of some sort for you. So you don't want to put yourself in a position to where you could, I don't know, like, but I think it varies case by case, like, because the way I feel about this coworker today might not be the way I feel about them tomorrow. Like, I may have fixed my perspective on it, and then I come in on Tuesday and be like, "Yo,
Yeah. What if you can't? What if you can't? What if you can't though? What if this person does something to you, does something to your spirit every single day, but you feel like, dang, maybe I'm not giving them the light that they need, as in, like, you're shutting them away from you, because of how they get on your nerves. Knowing
You're rebuking them, bro.
But wait,
I rebuke you.
are you asked? I guess I'm a little unclear, so
Yeah.
just help me a little bit. Are you asking, is it difficult for us to give grace to people that are closest to us, whether family, coworkers,
Well,
or
yeah, no, that's something totally
Dana,
different. That's hey, that's
someone
totally.
you
because
can.
I think that there's a
Oh,
way that you can treat people
wait,
with decency.
yeah, hold on. So that is a question, but that's not really the
Okay,
first.
can you
Yeah. So what
tell me
I'm
the first one?
Yep. So what I'm saying is, do we on our day to day are we operating in a way that we can speak life into everyone we come in contact with, whether that's at the
Okay.
grocery store, the gas station, your coworkers, the
Oh,
people in your household, everybody.
Now I get your question. I was unclear.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. We are to demonstrate the light of God everywhere we go because we are the light. We are light carriers.
Right.
Now, do we do it for everyone? I think it depends also on the type of day you are having. Like, are you the light that day? Like, are you yourself the light for yourself first?
Right.
Because you can't even do it for others if you are in a headspace or an emotional space where you can't even, like, I don't have it to give to you because I'm overwhelmed with my situation. Right.
Right.
I've been
I
met
tell
with
you,
opposition and I'm not being successful today. And so, like, I can't give you a hey, God bless you, because I'm literally in a place, right? But no, seriously, like, that's real.
You know, I feel
Right.
you. That's a normal reaction for a normal human being.
So I
All you
think
can do is just say a prayer at the end of the day and be like, God, please work on me
yeah, work
some
on
more.
me. I'm a work in progress. I'm being perfected daily. Okay, I'm not perfect. I
Because my
do
ops
think
want that.
that this goes back to again your spiritual maturity. I think, and I'm not talking about people who pretend to have spiritual maturity. I'm talking because there are some mean Christians. Like, you a Christian? Like, this one lady that I went to church with, I saw her at Ross. I was behind her in the line and she was being so nasty to the Ross cashier girl. She was being so nasty to her, and she was one of the people that sang at, she was a worshiper at the church that I was going to at the time. Like, she was, that's how I knew her face. Like, I didn't know her personally, but I
Right.
knew that she worshiped at the church, and I saw her at the Ross, and she was being so nasty to the worker. And I'm like, you love Christ? Like, I couldn't believe it. Like, I was like, what?
Mr. Johnson,
That was
is that you?
Right.
What we got
that
going
was
on, Sister
wild.
Johnson?
Right.
Right? That
Man,
was wild. And so I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about truly, if you are a healed person or you are working actively on your healing or you are working to be healed, I think it is easier for you to be the light to everybody. It's easier because you are doing the work that's necessary for you to be the light. You may have a bad day, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about you are actively, like, I am actively seeking to be the best version of Kathy. Not the version that I thought that I was the best version before Christ.
Mm-hmm.
When I came into relationship with Christ, I realized, like, girl, you are so far from this mark. Matter of fact, I don't even know how you have friends. How did
Mm-hmm.
people like you before? Because
Mm-hmm.
you before was not a likable person,
Mm-hmm.
right? And so now that I'm actively trying to be a better version of me, I can show up with strangers, with peers, with colleagues, with my family members as a better version of myself.
So you would.
If it if
So
it's difficult for you to do it, then I would say that there's probably still a lot more deliverance and healing internally that needs to happen with you.
That's fair.
very
right.
true.
So So you would say that on a daily basis, obviously, the one-offs and things like that, that you operate in a way that people are drawn to you, no matter like
E-
where you at.
Even unbeknownst to me, like
Right.
I don't even sometimes get the clues. Like on Sunday, I went to the grocery store and I was wearing this top. I wish Sean was here because I was on the phone with Sean. Actually, we were chopping it up, and this lady just was just like, "Oh my gosh, I love your shirt," and I was like, "Thank you." She was just like, "I mean, that shirt is just like where did you get it?" And I just started having a conversation with her. But people who know me, like, I'm like, okay,
Right.
I'm like, I'm pretty uncomfortable, right?
Right.
Just a little bit. I'm like, okay. Um, and I started talking to her. I said, you know what? Be encouraged. It's gonna be a great day for you. And so some people really and truly gravitate to you because you are the light. Usually when you go the other way is because you're toxic. You know them toxic people. You don't want to be they suck the energy out of every space that they
Right.
enter. And you know who they are. Now, I'm not one thankfully, thank God, I am not an energy sucker. Thank the Lord. I have enough you know, to not suck the life out of every situation, right? Even in spaces where I'm like, this is not really my space or territory, but if God gave me the grace to be here, I'm not going to suck the energy out of this space,
Right.
right? And so I would say people do gravitate to me because of God, because the God in you will make you more attractive to people.
Okay.
Okay.
And I'm not talking about like sexually attractive. I'm talking about like
Yeah, we got you.
you're attracted to their light.
Right. Right.
Right.
Yeah. What about y'all? What do y'all think about that? Like, where y'all at with it on a daily basis of kind of just being open to let people in?
To let people in. Ooh, that's interesting. So I'm naturally a people person, right? So people always
She is.
gravitate towards to me. It's
Right.
very easy for me to make friends, no matter where I go. And
Yeah.
however, the caveat to that is, I come from a large family, so I don't necessarily need any more friends. Not saying I'm not open, right? I don't, right? And so I come into an issue where, I can try to be a light and then people feel offended if I'm not always available to them. And then it becomes, well, you're supposed to be my best friend. And it's like, shorty, I'm married. I'm not gay, So it has, yes, to answer your question, yes, but finding that fine line, I'm still learning what that looks like for people and being the light. Because I naturally, even before Christ, people do gravitate towards me because I'm lit. I'm lit for it.
Nisha
The
is
devil's
the
not.
mayor of every city she goes to. This girl, I don't know how she does it. Like, I'm sometimes embarrassed being next to Keisha. I'm like, girl, shh, shh, shh. Like, be
Right.
quiet. And she just be like, hey, girl, hey, so and so. And she knows people's names and she knows their life and their situation. I'm like, that's a gift. Like, how do you do it?
Mm.
I think,
That's me and Lane's relationship.
yeah, yeah. I feel like Dale, you're like that. People love
Yeah,
Dale, and then
exactly.
it's
Yeah,
easy. it's it's
yeah,
it's
it's
easy, but then when
Lane's
Lenny is
when
like,
he's with me, he's like, "Yo, chill, chill, chill," and I'm like, "What are you talking about, bro? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, let's talk. Let's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I like it is
It's a gift. Y'all have a
you know,
gift.
it yeah, and it's like I was a kid who always got the marks of like likes to talk a lot on my report card and stuff like that. And it just parlayed into like being a conversational
But
person and having like a very inviting look. But what you about to say, Lenny?
yeah, so yeah, I hear y'all when y'all talk about it as in like a friendship type of way, having that light. But do you
Mm.
feel like you open yourself up to all people, that God may bring your way to be a testimony, to encourage them, to be a mentor.
But God doesn't call you to everyone. So the operative word is God has called you to that individual.
Right. So yeah, and the question is, do you feel like you open yourself up to anyone that God may send your way?
I try my best. If it's God led, then I try my best. But I will openly admit that there are people that God has assigned to me. Meaning, like, I want you to be her big sister,
Mm-hmm.
and it has been difficult for me to be that person's big sister.
Right.
That's
And
my flesh.
and
I
that's
do it, but it's my flesh.
right. And that's where I want to stay at. Like, how do we navigate that? Like, in the are we positioning ourselves always to take on what God is giving us?
Yeah, I have no other choice because he's gonna get me if I don't.
Right.
That's my conviction. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, if I treat this girl in any other way than what God has told me to do, then I immediately get the yank. And what
Do
you won't do is
do you always feel like it's the same sex?
that. I'm personally me. I am called to women ministry, and so it's mostly women most of the time. And because I'm married, I don't have a lot of male friendships outside of family friendships.
Well,
So
if I if I
Okay,
if
that
I
speaks to your point. Yeah. Okay.
if
Yeah,
I
I see.
if I came
what
to
I'm
you,
saying is,
yep.
if God has assigned me to you, like this person, this colleague who reached out to me about doing a Bible study is actually a male.
Mm-hmm.
I had to take that to the Lord
Correct.
because I'm really I try to be very mindful of those dynamics.
Of course.
You see what I'm saying? When the Lord said that you will actually be planting seeds of faith in this individual, I've already started, and I need you to plant some more seeds. Then I had to say yes. I said, so when are we going to do this? Because once we get to work, we got to get to work. You know, like, how are we going to meet? And the individual was like, can you meet 30 minutes before school starts? I said,
Right.
30 minutes before school starts? Man, that means that I have to wake up, you know what I mean, at a certain time, get out the door at a certain time, be on my
Right.
way at a certain time. But I said, okay, sure. Here's your first assignment. We're meeting Wednesday morning. Let's go. Let's be ready. And so it was truly a sacrifice of my time, right? But because the Lord told me to do it, I did it. And so I don't have the option to, and even when I want to, kind of be like, listen, I'm done with that person. Like, I'm good. Like, I'm good off of shorty. I'm
Right.
really okay. I don't have that option because then the Lord is going to get somebody, or he's going to talk to me directly, or your wife to be like, nah, you can't. Like, that's your assignment. Like, the way that you handle this individual can turn them off to God. That's the thing. The
Right.
way that you handle this individual can turn them on or off to God. They can get church hurt by the way that you treat them. And so you have to be very mindful that if you say that you are in a relationship with God and you are calling yourself a believer, you're calling yourself someone who is walking in that grace, then you have to be mindful of how you handle people, because people are going to attribute God with you.
Correct.
Oh, God does this to people. Oh, that's what God do. He just pulls out a relationship with people because I messed up. Oh, that's what, so you have to be very mindful of that. But also be mindful that God does not call you to everyone. Jesus had the power to heal everybody. But he went to this man at the pool of Bethesda. It was over 5,000 people there that were lame, blind, had different infirmities. He went to one person and healed one person. It's not because he didn't have the power to heal all 5,000 people. It's because he wasn't called to heal all 5,000 people. Sometimes when you feel like you're stretched thin in a relationship, ask yourself, were you led to even be in that relationship? Were you led to be that person's mentor? Were you led to be their big bro, big sister? Because if you weren't led to do it, then you don't have the grace to do it. And so you're going to be short tempered with that person. You're going to treat that person foul because you don't actually have grace to be that person's friend.
Damn.
Okay.
That was well put, dog.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was well
I
put.
would say,
Short temper with that person.
yeah, yeah. I would
Hey,
say
you know,
for
I
me,
gotta
I'm
get out
getting
of here though.
better.
I'm
Yep.
short tempered tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. All right.
All right, man. Love y'all.
Yep. Love.
See y'all.
Love, love you too. I would say for me, I'm getting better at boundaries with people because I'm such a people person. And so showing the light and being available and open to all that God has called me to can be a little demanding when my flesh gets in the way, when I would rather, you know what I mean, talk to, other people or whatever it is. Like now I'm stepping out of my comfortable, my comfortable zone and making sure to reach out to people if I haven't heard from them in a while, or making sure to send those encouraging words to people that I know are called to me but are running, because our flesh is going to say, well, I'm not chasing you, right?
Yeah.
But then sometimes they might be dealing with rejection, so they might feel like you not checking in on them might be a form of rejection. And I'm learning that even more and more now, that like there's a difference between a person that's running from God and someone dealing with the spirit of rejection. And that part I'm trying my best to navigate through that season right now of learning the difference, discerning the difference between the two people, because I'm not chasing you if you're running. However, if you deal with a spirit and you actually need to know like someone cares, discerning the difference between the two is something I'm learning or going through right now.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah. I just wanted to see, where we was all at when it came to being open on our day to day life, and are we available for people that are called into our lives? New people.
Right.
And what I heard you say is that that's a place of struggle for you. So I'm definitely going to lift you up in prayer
Yeah.
because I do believe that God has given you influence. And if you're closed off to doing the assignment God has given you, then that means
Yeah.
that you are basically in disobedience.
Right.
So
Yeah.
that can be dangerous
Yeah.
for you
Because
and the individual, right? Because
correct.
they're waiting for
Mm-hmm.
you you're the seed. You're supposed to be sowing the seed to get them out of the situation.
Hmm.
And so if you're not available, then that means that they're being delayed and you're being delayed.
Correct. Correct. Just
That's good.
yep. Yeah, I think that was it. I think we can stop right there before we go too deep.
Wrap it up.
Uh
Okay.
Too
Let me
late.
go back in the
You
chat.
already went.
right. Yep. Appreciate y'all
Thank you
for
guys.
calling in. Yep. Yep.
Bye. Love you.
Yep. Love. All right. Yeah, that was we're gonna stop right there. I appreciate everyone for tuning in, calling in. See the people that's watching. Thank you for watching the live one. For the people that are going to watch the replay, thank you for watching the replay whenever you get a chance to watch it. It means a lot to the show. Period. Because we need people that want to tune in and get some value from the show. Hold on real quick. Yeah, so just from the people that get value from the show and tune in, thank you for always um, coming to the show each and every Wednesday or whenever you get a chance to watch it. And so last words were kind of what we talked about at the last bit. Matthew 6 is the chapter that I wanted to focus on this week in this show. It's about being humble, and where are you at with your walk, and how do you receive humbleness? Do you feel like you are? Do you do things for the glory of God, or are you doing them for self? And that's only a question, for yourself, and only you and God would know the answer. So thank you for all that tuned in. I pray that you have a great rest of the week. Prosperity and blessings to all. Blessings to your family. Blessings to anything that you are not feeling hurt about. Things that you're going through secretly that you haven't told, anyone. And only you and God knows. Just pray for you to overcome whatever that is, because we're always going through something, right? Just pray healing and overcoming of whatever you're going through, and just understanding that everything is a season, and you'll get through it. Love you guys. Appreciate everyone for tuning in, and have a great rest of the week. See y'all next Wednesday. Peace.
Say what it do, what the business is. Folk running over what the devil sin. Shoes, pants, chest, shoulders. Get up, off me, don't get closer. It ain't over, tell it's over. Game breaker, big joke. Jesus like don't trip, finna make the boat tip. Set the tone with that ice cold, but I won't slip. In my bag like road trip. Switch stands, do my dance, dog, he really don't miss. I don't need a crystal less it's hot sauce, brother. And I ain't gotta sell my soul just to pop off, brother. Ain't no demon time when you anointed. I keep it regal like movies and hop out like I'm getting dropped off, brother. Car smelling brand new. And we don't rock with the flakes, call me shampoo. We just tryna spread that light, bring them lamps through. It's got me thinking that it's nothing that I can't do. Feeling like the champ too. We just out here praising God, looking fly, regular day. No pressure, look how God done bless you. Come on, wonder why I'm feeling extra. Say what it do, what the business is. Folk running over what the devil